All right, and welcome to another episode of the Wikid Weekend Podcast, guys. We're back after 4th of July. This time, I'm joined by Scott. Welcome.
Good to be here.
And Michael here. If you don't know, I'm one of the co-founders of Wikid Publishing, and usually we're joined by Matt, but he was unable to make it today, unfortunately. So without further ado, let's get started. So we were just talking a little bit about comics and stuff, but I mean, you haven't had a chance to talk in a little bit, except for last week when we were playing some games and stuff. What have you been up to this past week?
Oh, it's been a very, very busy week. We had some artist change arounds. So Drew has stepped down as the page artist for Wrath. So what that means is that the actual page work is going to be done by a yet to be decided artist. But we did have a sit down talk, and she still wants to be very much involved with Wrath. So she will be taking on a more of a concept and cover artist role. And I'm also having her help me with some creative decisions. And
Nice.
you'll see her involved in some upcoming unannounced projects as well.
That's good. Yeah, it's good to see that she's still going to be on the team in some fashion.
Yeah. It was like it's funny because that's like one of the worst fears as a like writer creator, I think, is when your artist is like, I'm stepping down, and you're just like, losing that help and influence
Jeez.
is kind of a hard blow to take.
Yeah,
But
it's tough.
it did help a lot that she expressed a strong desire to still stay with the project. So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of helping get me back up and running again faster than I anticipated.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to hear. And it sounds like you're on the right track. Look, are you taking any submissions at this time? Are you or not
We,
taking any unsolicited
I
submissions?
haven't made any official decisions yet. I've got a couple of people who've expressed interest. Since I haven't made an official decision, if you're interested, you can always hit me up on Twitter, and just show me some examples of your panel page work, and we can get a dialogue going.
Nice, yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of artists out there who'd be interested in working on a project like this. So definitely excited to see where you take it next. So, you know, all the comic work aside, did you enjoy the holiday week? Were you able to still enjoy the holiday?
A little bit. I
A
mean,
little bit.
I did spend quite a bit of Thursday and Friday just talking to various artists.
Really? Wow.
Uh, yeah,
Staying busy, man.
yeah, definitely staying busy. And just reviewing and answering questions, and just kind of feeling out who might be a good fit.
Nice. No, that's cool.
I did go out and take my daughter to watch some of the illegal fireworks that were going off in the neighborhood. But
No,
then
no, your
local
city doesn't put on a
local local PD
fire.
rolled through and
Oh boy.
kind of shut that down. So got a few in.
Uh, doesn't Concord do fireworks?
Yeah, they have that singing flag thing they do, I think. But yeah, I'm not really one to go to like the big crowded.
You can't see them from your place then?
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, okay, okay,
There might be some tonight that I might be able to see, but
okay. It's always tricky. I hate, I used to go to the ones in my hometown. But we go downtown, but it's so crazy. So many people, so hectic.
yeah, I tried to do that once down at the waterfront, and it just gets crazy down there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was actually in Tahoe this last weekend, and
Nice.
it was actually, yeah, it was pretty crazy down there too. But reception up there was awful. I was able to get, I think, one tweet out the whole time I was there. It was really
That's
bad.
sometimes kind of nice, though.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, in a way. It's like you kind of have to focus on what you're doing. I feel like they do that on purpose, maybe.
It might.
Yeah. um, but yeah, what have you been up to? Have you seen movies? Reading any new comic books? Anything like that?
Not lately. Lately, as we were tweeting last weekend, I've been kind of gearing back up to do tabletop RPGs. So,
Oh, true. Yeah, how's the Starfinder been going for you so far?
I've been squeezing it in, so hopefully I'll have a decent showing for today.
Nice.
I am still a little bit rusty. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I was up early printing, prepping, getting everything ready for this afternoon.
Nice, dude. Sounds like it's gonna be a good session. I think I should be there myself.
Yeah, I think we've got like 3 or 4 people.
Nice, yeah, that should be good.
So yeah, we
I
should
like
have
sci-fi games.
enough for legal table size.
Nice, yeah, and once they start, maybe as they keep growing and growing, it eventually, maybe there'll even be multiple tables going at the same time.
That is a possibility that does tend to happen. I've done something like this before at another game store.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think we were at our peak doing 2 or 3 tables at a time.
Yeah, that I remember when I was going into my game store in Turlock, we would usually have about 3 tables, I think, 3 or so tables. Because it was like there'd be some people coming in and just be like, you have to split them up after after a while.
The big key for that is you got to have good um, game masters running the games, because if
True.
if you don't have fun and you don't have a positive experience, then people tend not to go back, so to speak. So I as a organizer, I kind of had some feedback from other people, like
Nice.
that were willing to come out to play at my tables, but they were a little bit sketchy about some of the newer GMs, and you kind of have to like convince and make arrangements to try and keep people coming into the store. But that's just part of coordinating.
Mhm. That's yeah. It's all about getting it. Like you said, coordinated and stuff. But I think that's why society is really cool because it is kind of more organized.
It is organized, but you also have that flexibility.
Hmm.
I kind of refer to it as like when you do like online multiplayer games, it's kind of like pickup games, where you just kind of throw random people together and get a game going.
True. Yeah, that is cool, and there's a lot of benefits to that. You get a lot of variety in players and game styles, and even GMs if you end up switching out on GMs.
Right, and then you don't have the long term commitments that come with like joining a homebrew, or like a personal campaign.
Or the disappointment of trying to run a campaign and having your group fall apart halfway through.
You can just
That's awful.
swap
Uh,
out new players every week,
oh
and
yeah,
it's no
that's
big issue.
nice. Exactly, yeah. And you can even do like a kind of a pseudo campaign. I think there's even certain. I remember Pathfinder had these like pseudo campaigns where you do the scenarios that were like individual stories, but they'd also link together to make a larger story if you wanted to.
Right, you would have multi-part scenarios.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you can also take the modules from just um, the regular game, and run those for society credit as well.
Nice. That's cool. That's pretty flexible. Yeah. Nice, man. I would love to get a Wicked game going sometime. Maybe we can try and set that up. I keep wanting to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like if we wanted to do like Starfinder, or if we did Pathfinder Second Edition is launching in August.
Nice. It'll be interesting to see how the second edition goes.
Yeah,
Let's see.
because I think
Matthew Reese. Sorry, go ahead.
we were talking about having Jack Irons as some sort of like gunslinger.
Jack Irons would be a perfect gunslinger, I think. Now, but yeah, I'll definitely be there later today and bring my best character. I need to get him a miniature. Get
I
him
think
online.
I've got you something that'll work for today.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Yeah, that'll be fun. Because I don't think I can. I don't think using my giant Dagon figure is gonna work out quite so well. Might not fit on the table. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a. When did you first kind of get into role playing games?
I think it was I want to say about 2010, 11, something like that. Me and a buddy of mine, um, he's the one that pointed me out to Pathfinder, and we went to a local convention, KublaCon, and tried to get into
Mm,
some games, but they were all full, so we just made characters. But then we found out that we could um, go to a local store and start playing. So we started doing that.
nice.
Then I just kind of dove headfirst into GMing and found myself at one point, coordinating a store and running 4 to 6 games a month.
Jeez. So you're old hat at this.
Yeah, yeah. I've gotten
Oh, that's right.
quite a few
Weren't
hours,
you? Yeah, you were telling me about that, weren't you?
quite a few hours behind the GM screen, as it were.
That's funny. Yeah, I've done a little GM myself. I'm more familiar with the Call of Cthulhu role playing game, and I really like that one because it's a little bit less rules heavy and a little more focused. Well, of course, all of them are role playing focused as much as you want them to be, but this one definitely emphasizes, I think, and it's based on a percentile system. So you have these skills, and you have a D100, and you have a percentage chance to roll under your skill to succeed. So I really like the system, and it was just really fun to role play that one. So I've had some experience GMing on that one, but only a few games on Pathfinder and that kind of stuff. I found Pathfinder a lot of fun, but I found it GMing was hard for me as a newbie because there's just so many rules
Yeah,
and
that
things to
and
remember.
especially as it went on in the years, you kind of suffer from what they call a rules bloat, where they keep adding so much stuff that it's almost
Hmm.
impossible to keep track of it all. But
Well,
it looks like Matt in chat is working on his own custom tabletop
dude,
RPG.
that's awesome. A 2D6 system. That sounds really interesting. I like that.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah, because like you said, it's simple enough for nerds to play with their wives. That's
Plus, you could
funny.
just get like a whole set of like Warhammer dice, and then you're all set for a system.
Right, and
A
I mean,
bunch of
and most people have D6s lying
yeah.
around from some board games or something. So it's something that, like, yeah, it could pick up for a party game. Like you can just go around to CVS and grab some dice. So it's definitely versatile as well in that sense. So I could definitely see that being cool. Nice superhero universes. So we should get Charger on that one.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm. Charger or Sporkman, Sporkman RPG. That'd be pretty fun. Make your own Spork superhero.
But yeah, that's what I have planned.
Nice, nice.
As far as progress on going back to Wrath, I am getting some demos back from one particular artist. Um, the style is going to be a little bit different if we go that route. It looks like it might be um, a more realistic style. Again, if we decide to go with this artist, so just putting that out there to see what everyone thinks about that. Um, since again, nothing has been officially decided.
Interesting. What made you want to go to switch to more kind of like a realism
Well, it's
instead
it's
of
more of just going with what's presented. Like I really so when I went originally looking for the artist and finding Drew, I was just shopping around and picking what stood out to me. So this process is a little bit different, as I'm kind of letting the artist come to me, and then taking a look at what they offer, and how I like to implement that into the project.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's a kind of a reversal of, in a way.
Yeah, it would look drastically different, I believe, as far as like page work goes. The nice thing is Drew has been very helpful in giving me feedback, and helping with trying to get something very similar to what she's done.
Nice, and yeah, that is really cool that they're kind of working together like that to get somewhere that you guys you're happy with. You
Yeah,
know, it's
definitely.
yeah, it's not always you don't always get the case where when an artist kind of leaves a project in a capacity that you get to still work with them. That is still nice. How have you guys been transitioning from that kind of into that new role, transitioning her into that new role?
Um, I was thinking about this the other day. She actually has a pretty cushy role. So I was thinking I shouldn't feel guilty about just randomly messaging her throughout the day now. But also too, and I was thinking about this, is one of the things that we discussed when she first signed on was, um, if she got into a more, because she's working towards a career in art. So if she had gotten a position of that nature, then her role as the artist would have changed, or she would have had to drop the project. With her role now, I think that it would be possible to balance both. So it kind of solidified her position on the project, I think.
That's good. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually, and it sounds like she's really kind of moved up in a little way because it's more of a more of a upper level position in the team, kind of.
Yeah, and like, that was one of the one things I really liked with working with her, is she wasn't afraid to express ideas, or creative changes or implementations that enhance the overall project, and so she can still do that um, with where she's at. And hopefully with the new artist we pick, they will mesh with what we're doing, and just um, get us up there bigger and better.
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait to see once you guys choose who it is, and then we can show off all the art that you guys are coming up with. I bet you guys have some interesting cooking up back there.
Yeah. So possibilities, we might see a sketch of the standard cover that we didn't have during the campaign, surfacing in the next couple weeks. And if we do have a new artist, we might show some of the demo work they did. So
Okay, very
keep
nice.
an eye out. We'll hopefully have some stuff going here shortly. We're not as dead in the water as I initially thought we were earlier this week. So
Yeah,
um,
you kind of turned it around for yourself.
yeah. I got back up and got back to work, and we're moving slowly, but we're still moving.
Progress has been made on Wrath, and it's not out yet. It's still we're still going to be getting some Wrath. It's not out of the fight, you
It's
know.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. I never made a decision to stop. I was just kind of putting it on hold because I didn't know um, how that would affect what I was planning to do, and how long it would be a delay. So that was partly me trying to communicate to like my small fan base exactly what's going on. I think that's key, to let them know things as they're happening, so that they're not just left in the dark on where I'm at, what I'm doing, and how soon Wrath is going to be coming back.
Yeah, do you have any kind of ballpark estimate in your mind yet when you think you guys might be coming back to crowdfunding?
Um, see, that's the thing is originally I was hoping for like end of August, early September. Um, while like I said, we are moving again on the project. I don't have an estimate yet.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, kind of have to play it by ear right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want to make sure that we've got the artists secured and we've got page work going and we've got funding to get where we need to relaunch because a big part of that is getting the additional page work done. Like to get that sequential story out there with the campaign. That was a lot of the feedback I was getting about the initial campaign is we didn't have enough to kind of grab people's attention and to show them what we're really trying to do with Wrath.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just kind of show off a little more of the interior pages.
Right, and what I wanted to do as well, and I'm playing with the idea, is cutting the first chapter in half so we have a lower page count, which will be a smaller goal, smaller achievable goal. So then also, um, what we're doing is getting the product out to people faster, and then we've got a more, or sorry, a higher percentage of work done going into the crowdfunding.
Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of makes a lot of sense, and I think cutting down on the pages is would be good because not only like you said gives you that lower goal, but more importantly, it'll be able to focus more money in towards the next one once you guys get that one out.
Right,
So
and if it's doing well, we can even add the second part as a stretch goal.
exactly, yeah. So that gives you a little flexibility with your options there. So that could be an interesting way to do it. I had to do that with me and Matt actually had to do that recently with Project R. Our next chapter we realized was just too long and we had to split it up into two to try and get it done.
Yeah, and the idea is to get like two books out quickly and get those
Nice.
to the hands of the fans and basically start building up that trust and rapport that we're about a solid product and delivering on what we promise.
Now, real quick, Gorgon Emissary in the chat says, for those of us who are unfamiliar with Wrath, can we have a quick rundown about what it is?
Sure. So, Wrath is the story of a young man and his best friend. And as he kind of comes into the realization that he has this latent ability to manifest his childhood trauma from his abusive father, so like his anger, resentment, regret that he's had bottled and pent up into a physical form. The little image here that you see as I'm talking is a version of that creature. We affectionately call him the Rage Puppy.
Mhm.
So the first issue is him coming to realize that he has these powers as they are subconsciously released through current events and go out on their own and wreak some vengeance on some people that recently hurt Doug.
Yeah, that was such an epic story, man. I love the premise. That's part of why when we first started talking about it. Why we ended up going with you. I think Matt and I both really enjoyed your story.
Yeah, the overall arc is about like how some of these more powerful emotions can affect and drive us, but we can choose. Sorry, while we can't choose some of the things that happen to us, we do have a choice in how they affect us.
Nice. Is Rage Puppy a bit of a metaphor? Would you say?
Uh,
Like don't
you mean just like the whole? Yeah, maybe a little bit.
you
I mean,
know a
like
little bit.
you're.
Kind of where I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
sure, like sometimes we lose control of those emotions and they run off on their own and kind of drag us behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a little bit there. I see that. It's
The whole,
also
and then also the whole what do they say? The if you feed your rage puppy. It'll just get bigger.
I don't know if we're gonna go into that
That's
aspect,
fair.
but
That's fair.
it is definitely you're gonna see kind of how this power affects the main character in subtle ways, but you're also gonna see like an opposition that fully kind of embraces this power in a negative fashion.
Nice. That sounds pretty awesome. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those two sides clash if they end up doing so. So we're joined by Ibai Canales. I want to just say welcome, Ibai. How's it going?
Hola. Good afternoon. Sorry, I popped in late. I was doing shopping in capital city.
Oh,
Also,
no worries.
I have a terrible cold in the middle of the summer. I don't know why. So,
Hmm, that's
apologies
awful.
if I sound weirder than usual.
Yeah, I've had
Oh man.
something the last couple of weeks where I'm just like coughing constantly and just hacking stuff up, but
Yeah,
that's
me
about
too,
it.
man.
It's really weird.
Oh boy. Geez, sorry to hear that you guys have been feeling well. Uh, that's awful.
Yeah, I just want to say that Scott, your story reminds me a lot of David Cronenberg's The Broad. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie
What was the movie?
The Broad.
No, I
The
don't think I've
Brood.
seen that one.
It's got a vaguely similar premise. It's about a woman who, after a radical psychiatric therapy or something like that, develops the ability of like making her traumas physical in the form of malformed children that attack her enemies.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, no,
It's a
it's crazy Canadian science fiction from the 1970s.
yeah, Canadian dude. The Brood. I just looked it up. Yeah.
And
I'll have to
also
check that out.
there's also a similar, also yet another David Cronenberg movie called Scanners that's more popular. You know the one with the guy whose head blows off on a scream.
No, I don't know about that
Was
one.
You
that
guys
the
never saw Scanners?
was that the one with Keanu Reeves and they kind of did that weird animate over the film footage?
No, that's a Scanner Darkly. No, this is
Okay.
from the early 80s. And you guys know that GIF with the guy with the glasses and his head just explodes like a cantaloupe.
I
I
think
don't.
as this does sound vaguely familiar.
It was a fairly popular movie back in the 1980s, and it's also about people with like psychic abilities to manifest their like thoughts and fears and all that. And there's also the whole two warring factions of people. One of it's kind of like the X-Men, a faction decides to like use their power constructively, as in working for the government and the corporations, and the other faction is like more rebellious and wants to destroy the world and all that.
That's interesting. Yeah, maybe you should check that out and get some
Yeah, no, definitely do.
influence or
So I
inspiration.
was I was looking up scanners and one of the popular searches was scanners head explosion.
I just love it when Google knows exactly what you're thinking.
Google always knows what you're thinking. That's the
Seriously.
scary part.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Definitely never seen that before.
Well, I was just trying to tell Scott that I like his idea because it reminds me of other interesting similar stories that I've watched and read in the past.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I've also been compared to JoJo's stand ability.
No, that is something I never saw, so I can't tell
I
for sure.
highly recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, at least, if not parts 1 through 3, then at least part 3. Part 3 is pretty awesome. That one they travel all around the world and they go to like Egypt and Pakistan and all sorts of cool countries. It's really
Was that
interesting.
was that 2 or 3?
I believe it's part 3. I think yeah, because part 4 I think is the one they're showing. They just were showing it recently on Toonami.
What's the story behind JoJo anyway? No one seems to be able to tell me like
It's
specifically.
basically about a supernatural powered people and a long legacy of one family who's basically been fighting this evil entity for generations. and so each part, or whatever you want to say, each season part has a different protagonist, and usually it's in another generation of that family. And so it starts in the 1800s, and it goes to like the 1920s, I think, or something, and then 1960s, and so on and so on and forth. And then they also have other kind of like offshoots as well, all like
Cool.
alternate realities. But it is so good, dude. The writing is just incredible on that, and
Yeah,
is one of the
sounds like the
goriest shows you'll ever
yeah.
see.
It sounds like the typical no boundaries Japanese thing that they don't seem to have
Mm,
the constraints that we Westerners have when we have to create a story.
yeah. Seriously, I love how wild everything can get in anime and manga. It's just like you said, there's no limit, and they can just draw from so many genres. It's cool.
I have to say though, like in what is it, Starlight Crusaders, the JoJo with that chain that hangs off of his like coat jacket just drives me nuts.
Is that the one with the where the hair kind of blends into his hat as well? Or
Maybe a
no,
little.
no,
I
that's
haven't seen that
oh wait,
one.
You said Stardust Crusaders?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was the one I was talking about, part three. And what don't you like about it? You said, or his
like
character?
he's got this like black coat and he's got a collar that kind of stands up on its own, but he has this big like heavy looking chain
Uh,
that just like hangs from that,
oh
and
yeah,
like the amount of starch that would take.
yeah. The
Yeah,
outfits are definitely over the top. That's for sure.
yeah, I have a similar problem with Judge Dredd's outfit. I'm always wondering how is he able to wear that thing.
Well, I've never seen Judge Dredd. Is he like a super powered
No,
or
no,
like
no.
super
He's
strong?
just like a future super cop. Like
Oh, okay.
he's like kind of like Dirty Harry on steroids, but he has this really over the top suit of armor, like with a golden eagle on one shoulder pad, and like a
Holy
really
shit.
big police badge on his chest, and this huge ass chain that locks the unites the eagle to the badge. And I'm like, how the hell is he able to wear that? He
It
can
definitely
move in
looks
that thing.
heavy.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man. So yeah, it's I wanted to bring something up a while ago. A little notification popped up in my Google Hangouts here. It says Google Hangouts Live on the air is going away on August 1st.
That's
So
not good.
yeah, so I guess I'll have to master OBS streams before then.
Oh shit, man.
Gorgonite Emissary brought up a Wrath question. How many people are going to die in Wrath?
Oh
I
boy.
don't have an official count yet, but there is going to be like some sort of like murder mystery aspect to that. So there are going to be like victims of homicides and stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, that'll be cool how it'll weave in with the larger narrative.
Yes. Like I don't want to tip too much about how the confrontation starts, but yeah, there are people dying, and the Doug and Nicole are kind of have to decide if they want to confront that and get involved.
Okay, yeah. And how they decide to like go from there, I assume will have larger, implications going forward.
Exactly. I mean, like I don't want to get too much into the reasons why Doug wouldn't want to, or the reasons why he would. I want to kind of have that develop and unfold through the story.
Okay, yeah. Did you hear the news, Ebi, about what happened with Scott's situation?
No, no. What happened?
So the artist I had for the project decided to step down from the page art, but I'm still keeping her on as part of the creative team. Doing cover work and other things. So I'm in the process of finding a new page artist.
Oh man, I would definitely offer myself, but I'm up to my armpits on work. I'm still at page 58, Ironsides 2, and I have two upcoming projects with Chimera Comics and with a cold piece with Alejandro Garcia. And I don't know, man, a shitload of stuff more coming. So if you can wait until next year, maybe. I don't think you can, right?
Probably not. We are actually joined by another Wiki creator, Aaron Calimeri. How's it going?
Hey guys, I just got off of a Arch City Comics stream and I saw you
Oh,
guys
nice.
were going, and the last I saw you were looking for people, so I jumped in.
Nice, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Always looking to have more people on the show, so it's good to have you, man. How are you doing today?
Good. I drove out to a local store so that I could use my 4G internet so that my internet would actually work.
Nice. No
So
reception where you're at?
I'm doing
Usually?
a car video.
Hey, I feel that, man. I definitely feel that. I was out of town this weekend. I had like almost no reception. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But
we have a lot of internet. We have a lot of internet and phone problems out by my house because I live out near the woods.
Oh, okay. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's exactly it. We were in the woods. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in like super rural Michigan, so.
Oh, that's funny, man. But well, I appreciate you doing that. That's awful nice of you to do that for us.
What you guys talking about?
We were just kind of talking about Scott's how he's been retooling his comic Wrath because his artist had to step down in a certain capacity.
I was answering a Gorgonet because she's wondering how many people are going to get eaten by the rage puppy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So what I was explaining to in chat, and I can elaborate a little bit more here, is Doug's not like inherently violent person in nature. So the rage puppy isn't quite a stone cold killer yet, but that's part of something I want to get into throughout the story is the sometimes subtle nature that our anger can pull us.
So if he kind of changes like in the middle of the night, right?
He doesn't really change, but like the creature, the first time it comes out, it comes out in like a subconscious type form.
And so it won't just like automatically attack his best friend then, right?
No, it does kind of focus on the current target of his anger, so to speak.
Oh, I see.
And tracks them down.
And but it's a little subconscious in a way.
Right. So like the initial form that you see here is the subconscious choice. Something that's kind of tied to Doug's childhood and also to the task at hand. When you see in later on in the story, when you see Doug take conscious control of it, it's going to have more of a humanoid form. Basically, that's like the brain is inherently lazy, so it's going to take on something that it's familiar with manipulating.
Yeah, that's interesting. It'll be cool to see that human design. I would love to see the concept of that or something. You know.
Yeah, I gotta say that's pretty smart writing right there.
And so Drew's going to do that concept work, and that's something we have discussed a little bit.
Nice.
She's got some ideas already. So if we get to that point in the story, that's definitely something we want to showcase and highlight.
Nice. Well, that's awesome, man. We'll be rooting for you and looking out for more updates from that soon. I know. But Aaron, I speaking of crowdfunding projects, I know you are kind of working on your own project right now. It's out on Indiegogo at the moment. How's Extractors been going for you?
So Extractors is going good. We're rolling along on creation, like behind the scenes, and anytime we get some good updates, like we haven't really been doing official updates like we need to, but we've been updating the Indiegogo. So we've been putting like new art on there and stuff like that. And we've put a couple new tiers on there since we started that people can check out. and I think we might be putting a digital tier up pretty soon. Right now, our biggest tier that we're trying to push right now is there's a tier where you can get turned into one of the alien zombies. So like Vic will, if you buy that tier, you'll get the book, you'll get the Carlo Rowe poster, you'll get the free Simon Poitier print, and you'll get drawn into the book as a person being turned into a zombie or eaten.
Dude, that's awesome.
And
That is
Vic,
cool.
Vic is he's working on a piece that he did a little video on, but I think he's still finishing the art, and he's showing like that he's like proving that he can draw likenesses. So he took our Shalise is our letterer and kind of our project manager a little bit. He took her likeness and he's drawing a picture of her being attacked. So he's kind of showing like proof of concept there, so that people know that it will look like you if you buy that tier.
Nice. Yeah, so he's working hard to make sure that the likeness is there.
But if you go to Indiegogo and just search extractors, if all you want is just the book, it's 48 pages, full color, and it's only $15. So it's a pretty, but by the scale of what Indiegogos are, it's a fairly decent deal.
Nice. So you mind if I hope you don't mind if I show it off here?
Yeah. Oh, it looks like we got a sale actually.
Very nice, man.
Yeah, we just got a sale.
Yeah, you got. I wonder if it's someone on the stream.
We need to push this. We need to push this harder. This project is awesome, and it deserves like 10 times more than what it's getting right now.
And it's got a good amount of time left too, so I do think we can get it there. You know.
If you scroll down, you'll see a bunch of the artwork. You can see what's going on with some of it. It's a super violent space action adventure, but it's kind of like it's got a lot of X-Men to it. It's got a lot of A-Team to it.
Nice.
I'm gonna do my reminds me of a movie thing that I always do. And have you guys seen Galaxy of Terror, an old Roger Corman 1980s sci-fi horror movie?
No, I haven't.
Well, luckily you have me, so I can discover you guys old stuff that you never. But yeah, it reminds me of that movie because it was like this weird Star Wars meets the A-Team, but with weird subconscious monsters, and it was really cool because it had almost like superheroic elements to it because it had like this guy who used like alien crystal shurikens to fight the monsters, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what it reminds me. Oh, it has like a woman being raped by a giant alien worm scene. In case you're interested, in case you're into that kind of stuff.
Now I love this character here. This is Switchback, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Switchback. He's awesome, man.
He's the last of his race, of an alien race of warriors, and he was in the military. And we're not gonna reveal it even in this issue, but he lost his 2 front forearms in combat, and they were replaced with these these machine arms that he can transform those into pretty much anything he thinks of. He can transform them into different weaponry, guns, chainsaws, swords, pretty much anything that's metal. Yeah, and fists too. He can just use them as hands if he wants.
That's pretty epic, dude. I like that.
And he's pretty big too. He's like a real wide, big, buff dude, and he's strong as hell.
Nice. Yeah, he looks like a really cool character to see fighting.
Yeah. That's a solid Starfinder character.
That's, that's if you guys know Simon Poitier from Bloodhunt, he drew this, and our colorist Praetorian colored it. And with this picture here, Simon is donating to our campaign. He donated this picture, and so what's going to happen is the first 100 backers get a 6x9 print of this for free, and then
cool.
and of those 100 backers, there's going to be 10 black and white ones that are signed by Simon, and those will be randomly put in with, like, of the 100, 10 random people will get the black and white signed one, and everyone else will get just this regular colored print version. But it's all free. It's in addition to what the perks say, so it's an extra
added bonus.
That's pretty cool too, because it kind of adds a little bit more anticipation when you're opening your package when it arrives.
I noticed people have been doing that kind of stuff, and Simon offered it to us, and I was like, well, yeah. You know, he's a really great dude. He's been doing it for some other campaigns too. He did it for Ardana and a couple other ones.
Man, no, I really want to donate a pic, but I'm too freaking busy with everything. I don't have any time left. But I really would like to.
That's understandable, Ibai. We know how busy you are with everything. I've been wanting to work with you since the beginning, but
I know. You sent me some pictures and they sound really cool.
Yeah, so, that's okay though. You took the stuff you took on, I think, was better than anything that I pitched you. So I don't begrudge you anything that you've done. You've done great.
Thank you. Also, I hope we can work together in the future too.
I would love to. Like, if there's ever a time, I would love to. Like, you are one of, even though I don't get to talk to you that much, you are one of my best friends in the whole comics world.
Oh man, I'm gonna cry, and I don't cry, except after I kill someone. That's gonna make me cry.
Oh yeah, that's a nice moment. Yeah, I appreciate.
I'm gonna shed a manly tear.
I appreciate you doing that. You know, your tears are kind of like Chuck Norris tears. They have healing properties to them. So
yeah,
we gotta follow that shit up, man.
So check out this picture we got here. You could see Switchback in the back, and then Vic drew this. He's the artist for the book, and Praetorian is the colorist for the book. He colored this, and this character in the front, he's kind of like he's the leader. His name's Stratagem, and he's kind of like your cookie cutter G.I. Joe in a way, but he's not overly like demonstrative as far as like, if he needs to take control, he'll do it. Otherwise, he lets people do their job. But he's a lifelong military soldier, and he is the leader of the team. And he's sort of the military, like, tactical strategist. He's more of a thinker. He's a fighter, but he's the thinker of the group, really. And then the girl over on the right, the black girl, that's Cammy. She is the pilot, and she's kind of new to this whole thing. She joined up and thought, like, you know, this was going to be fun, like flying around with these dudes, saving people and going on adventures, but she didn't realize what she signed up for with the kind of enemies they have to face on a regular basis. So she's kind of a little bit struck, like, kind of like we would be with some of the stuff that happens.
Nice, and a little bit in over her head, you might say.
Yeah. But she's an ace pilot, so they definitely need her. There's things that she can do with ships that they can't, so they definitely need her. And the girl with the blonde hair, that's Medica. She is the combat medic, and she wears like this thin, tight exoskeleton. And there's a turret that she can strap to it that it magnetically connects to it. And that turret can be deployed so it floats around and fights autonomously while she helps people, so she can protect herself. And it has a shield underneath it so if she's kneeled down helping somebody, that shield will protect her. And the shield kind of looks like those if you've seen the shields from Halo, like
the bubble like shields.
Like where you can see through it, but it's like it's like a color, but you can see through it.
Oh yeah. Those
Yeah.
totally.
And she's kind of a little bit of a no-nonsense character because she's really focused on trying to make sure everyone's safe. But she has kind of a little bit of a romance going with this other guy here, Jackal. He's the explosives expert.
He seems like the ladies' man in the group.
Yeah, he's kind of like the wise ass guy of the group.
Nice.
Like Inigo Montoya in space.
Yeah.
Right.
He's very loyal though to the team, so he's kind of the wise ass guy, but everyone knows that he's with them, you know, to the
Nice.
end. And what his job is he's demolition. So what they often do is, if these ships often get overrun with aliens and stuff to the point where the ship itself is lost. And so what they'll do is they'll save the crew, kill a bunch of the aliens, and then jump off back to their ship. And but before they do that, he plants a bunch of explosives on the ship, so then they detonate and just wreck that ship.
Nice. So they can't keep chasing them or going after anyone else.
Right. So it just kind of ends that ship and ends that threat by you know, and then hopefully they saved as many as they could, because it isn't always like happy ending, like we saved everyone, you know. Some people there's gonna be casualties. So people, just like in any war conflict, people do die, but they save as many as they can. They work for, the reason they do this is because they work for an insurance company that insures spaceships. So,
Nice.
so if spaceship has their insurance going, what they do, if they get attacked by like aliens or they get attacked by pirates, they can hit like this emergency button, and then the insurance company will be alerted, and then they can deploy the extractors to save that ship.
Nice.
But if you're lapsed on your insurance, or in this case in the story, a ship wanders into a danger zone that is outside their insurance coverage, then they're just left out to dry. So it's like, oh, you violate. So this distress call comes in, and they're like, okay, let's get ready to go. And the insurance company says, no, don't go, because these guys violated their insurance, so we're not going. And the extractors decide, like, no, we have to go save these people or they're going to get eaten by these zombie aliens. So they defy the orders and they go and start to save people. And that's like the kind of the launch pad of the story.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a really fun premise. It's like that kind of like an action movie premise where, like, you know, things go real wrong and they have to just go in and fight their way out to save the people. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's a super violent action book. It has kind of elements of horror to it. I would say it's like ages 16 and up, because there's no nudity in the book, but there is like graphic violence.
Cool.
I don't know, like
I know Eli loves graphic violence, so
Yeah.
we'll have to decide like where we want to say the rating is, but most people buying online like this are adults, so it's not too much of an issue.
Yeah, not generally speaking, you know.
So,
and I think most people can kind of gauge for themselves if they think it's appropriate for whomever they're buying it for.
Right.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I definitely get that.
I think most kids are okay with violence because, you know, used to be they used to get into a lot of fights and they will like break an arm or like crack their skulls open, something like that. So, you know, they're little boys are kind of used to violence. They know what, you know. They don't get too disturbed by it.
Yeah, me and my buddy we were into comics when we were kids, and like we were teenagers around the time Image came out, and we were trying to find like the most violent stuff we could get our hands on, you know.
Really,
and we were buying those like swimsuit issues and stuff, because they used to do comic book swimsuit issues and stuff.
Oh, that's funny. You don't see Marvel doing much of that these days.
No. That's a page from the story right there. That's them deploying. See the where Switchback's coming down, and you can see that big black shadow behind him.
Oh yeah.
That's their ship. It's called the USS Merciless, but the team nicknamed it the Mercy because they use it to save people.
Nice.
That ship is owned by the insurance company, but they kind of feel like it's theirs, you know. And
So they stole it in a way.
yeah, you'll find out.
Commandeered. We'll see.
You'll find out. But yeah, that's them deploying out of the ship onto another ship that you can see up at the top where that's the zombie ship that crashes into like a transport ship. If you can see that other ship that's crashed in at the very top panel. Yeah, that ship is a zombie ship that crashed into a transport ship. And so they're deploying to attack the zombies and try to save everyone.
Dude, that's awesome. I think that's a great hook for the first issue.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty happy with what we're doing. We're just trying to get the word out there. It's really hard to promote, you know.
No, I get that. Have you been trying to go on live streams and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've been on a bunch of them. I just came off of one that went for a couple hours. We talked about extractors quite a bit on that one.
Oh, good.
I think, yeah, Vic was on one. We got to get Vic in the Wikid chat, I think. But,
yeah, I think that'd be great to have him on. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been trying to do streams and stuff. It's a challenge for me because I'm shy a lot too, but like my biggest challenge is my work schedule is at nighttime, and also I have really bad internet at home, so if I want to have a good connection, I gotta like drive out to town and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that does make it a little more tricky. Are there any internet cafes you can hit up maybe or something?
What's that?
Any like kind of internet cafes in your area? Anything like that?
Well, I'm fine right now because I drove about 5 minutes away from my house to a local grocery store, and I'm just using my 4G right now. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that's working okay. Like hopefully you guys can hear me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're coming in clear. I think on my end.
Yeah. But you know, doing that on a regular basis is a rough deal. So.
Jeez, yeah.
But also Vic, he has a more open schedule. He's kind of drawn full time right now, so he's got more of a schedule where he can go on streams and has more flexibility than I do. Because I have a regular not a 9 to 5, but I have a nighttime version of 9 to 5 job, and so I'm busy a lot. But we got some motorcycles.
Vehicular action. Do you have like assholes who will purposefully remove the silencer from their bike so they will be as loud and annoying as possible?
Oh yeah.
We have those as well here.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of those.
There was one that lived around the corner from my place as a kid, and he'd fly past my house and it would just like shake all the windows.
Jeez, yeah, he's really cranking it, isn't he? But we're actually we're pretty much at the end of our hour here at the very least. So before we start wrapping up this first segment, as we get ready for the Metaverse guys to come on. But where can people follow you guys online, and so they can follow more of your adventures? And, Aaron, let's start with you. Where can people follow you on there? Are you there?
Yeah, I got somebody is like doing something insanely loud that
I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know if they're like mowing or.
I thought that was on your end. My bad. Yeah. Maybe try muting yourself, Scott or Ebi.
Are you guys? Is that coming through as like a loud ass noise?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
now we
a
can
little-
hear it.
A little bit.
I'll go ahead and mute myself.
Was it
But
you?
if you go to Extractors on Indiegogo, you'll find us.
Checkers on Indiegogo. I got that link in there, and then I'm gonna put you on your Twitter as well. What is it, Aaron Calamari? Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
so bad with names. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then here he's going. Oh, it's Neostar Productions. No worries, we're still going. The Mythoverse guys are up next, so stick in with us, and you'll be able to hear some more show. We're just transitioning with the first segment right now, so no worries on that front. You still have time. And then Scott, where can people follow you online for your adventures?
You can follow my Twitter account. It's @Kishkuman. And there's also an Instagram, which I just use to post art mostly. It is a Wrath graphic novel.
And I'll put that one up as well. Awesome, yeah, and be on the lookout for more Wrath-related material coming soon.
Yes, as we get the ball rolling again, I'll have some teasers. You might just be getting sketches until we relaunch, but you'll definitely get to see something.
Nice, that's perfect. And then Ebi, where can people follow you online?
Well, they can follow me on Mines. They can also follow me on Instagram, which I haven't updated in a while because I have a lot of work and I'm not allowed to promote it by Zach himself. Who knows why? That's how he rolls. And you can follow not me, but my extremely obsessed stalker fangirl on Twitter. She's aware of everything I do 24/7. I don't know why. She must have installed cameras on my bedroom or something. And yeah, follow her on Twitter, and she'll keep you updated on everything I do.
And she's really good. I have to say, she's always up to date. So
yeah,
orderly.
she's crazy yet smart and adorable.
Exactly, which is the perfect combination.
Exactly.
Are you still putting around that Gab shit, man?
Oh yeah. I haven't updated it in a while because it's too much work. I mean, I understand why people hire interns to manage their social accounts because
it gets too much. Yeah,
it gets crazy, man. You before you realize you spent like 2 hours updating your social media, and I can't afford losing 2 hours of daylight to draw.
It's funny. It's almost like when they're trying to do you a favor by getting rid of you. You know, they're like, you need more time for work. You know.
Yeah.
But no, it's always good to see you back on social media, and looks like
sorry about that alarm, guys.
Oh, no worries, dog. It's all good. Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. Like I looked over and this lady was covering her ears like she was dying, and I just rolled up my windows and I was like, "What in the heck?"
You sure you're not in the middle of the zombie apocalypse there?
Well, I might I thought like we were getting bombed by North Korea. Like I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, it was very strange. I was just gonna try and play it cool, but it was definitely a little jarring. I'll have to admit.
It was so loud.
Oh, that's funny. But so yeah, definitely check out Ebi on there as well. And was there anywhere else we can follow you that I didn't grab? Aaron.
You can look up Vic King Art on Twitter. He's always posting on Twitter. But mostly, if you want to find us, just go to Indiegogo and type in Extractors, and you'll find our campaign. Check it out. If you like it, even if you don't back it, maybe you can help retweet or something. Anything helps.
Nice, man, yeah.
Or even if there's stuff you don't like, just message me or Vic and tell us stuff about the campaign you don't like.
Sweet, yeah. No, I mean, I think you guys have a great project, and I'm really excited to see what you do with it. And honestly, if you guys want to come on another stream and talk more about it sometime, we'd love to set that up too. So
yeah, I think we will.
Excellent, man. And I wish you much luck with the campaign. And if there's anything you need from us, just let us know.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, and thanks for coming on, everyone. I appreciate it. I think we're gonna go and transition over to the next segment. But thanks again for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
No problemo.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Later. And welcome, Matt. How's it going? And where's Brett? Uh-oh. Matt. Are you shy, Matt? Oh, no.
Oh no, my mic was mute. I don't know where
And,
Brett is.
really, let me see. He said he was going to be on. Wasn't he the one who got you involved?
Yep. So
Brett, where are you?
maybe his computer died.
So, how are things been going, man? Did you have a nice 4th of July?
Oh yeah, did you?
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. I was out in Tahoe this week. Got
Nice.
to celebrate over there, which was nice.
Yeah.
Did you
I-
do much of anything yourself,
What?
or did you celebrate really, or did you kind of just kind of play it low key this year?
It was just low key.
That's kind of nice in its own way. You don't have to deal with all the crowds.
Yep.
So how
And here's
how
Brett.
oh hey Brett,
Hi.
late but here, and that's all that matters.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just
Well, to
kidding.
be fair, the first segments usually goes on longer, so
Well, we were all running. I think we're all running a little bit late today, probably because I'm still tired from all that partying I did.
yeah.
Did you have a nice holiday, Brett?
Define nice.
Fun?
Define nice because I had to go to work that day.
So no,
Not
So
really.
not really. Yeah. So how have things been going with the Mythoverse, guys?
I can. As far as Adobe Kroger's concerned, I think Leandro is halfway finished inking through the book. Victor just finished sketching out all the pages, and he's now inking them as we speak. Ginger is almost done with Sporkman, and according to Zeno, by the time Victor gets done inking the pages, she should be done with Sporkman completely and be ready to color it. Hopefully, she'll have it done by mid-September.
Great.
As for Mythics, I'm gonna hand the mic over to Matt.
Yeah, so Beth has finished the sketches for new characters that will appear in issue 1. Though she's been having some health problems, so the actual pages will probably take a little bit longer than health problems. So what is it? I got distracted by that.
That's okay. I do that too all the time. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. But I don't think it'll be any longer than the few weeks that she quoted for me.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, it's sorry to hear that she's, of course, that she's having a health scare or health issue, so to speak. But we're wishing her the best of luck on getting recovered and feeling better.
Yeah, it's not that serious, right? She's got just a touch of the flu.
Well, from what she's been tweeting, strep throat is among them.
What?
So yeah.
Strep can be kind of pain in the ass to deal with, from what I understand.
She's got.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say, Matt? I couldn't make that out.
Strep throat.
Strep. Oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that serious, but it sucks.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they decided to. Why all these illnesses just decided to hit her all at once.
Yeah, especially in the middle of summer of all times.
Happening to everybody. We were just talking to Ebi. He said he was sick, and then Scott said he was sick as well last week.
I also had one weekend where I had allergies hit me like a truck over the weekend, and I had to miss 2 days of work.
Jeez. What is it? Pollen? Is it pollen for you?
It's it's kind of the same allergies my dad had, which is cottonwood trees,
Cottonwood.
pollen, and cottonwood trees grow all over the place up in the Pacific Northwest.
Wow.
You probably don't have them down in California.
Maybe not. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it wasn't fun.
Yeah. It sounds awful.
And I even had to call from work yesterday because my back was bad. I think working Independence Day must have really kicked my ass or something.
Yeah, I bet. You didn't get that extra day to chill. So that's unfortunate.
That's just I'm just hoping it didn't really hurt my attendance at work too badly.
When do you have your next day off?
Monday.
All right, almost there, man. Almost there. Yeah, I always appreciate you making time to come onto the podcast before going to work. I appreciate your time. Like, it's nice. It's not easy. I know having to get up and do this kind of thing and then go straight to work.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like something that Matt, Dan, and I have sort of gotten hip to since we started doing this thing is that this has essentially become a full-time second job for the three of us. Yeah,
you're right. It really has to be in a lot of ways. So,
I mean, but that kind of shows you, though. I mean, like people who like if you're gonna like, I would tell that to anyone who wants to break into comics, like if you are supporting this with a day job, well, here's the thing: you are essentially gonna be working 2 full-time jobs, and one of them is not gonna pay you immediately.
Yeah, but if the one thing you can say is that at least you're doing one of them things that you love, right? It's always if you want to have a job doing what you love, do comics.
The funny thing is that I've followed Rooster Teeth since the very beginning, and one of the things and you'd think that with how they did everything based off of Halo, everything was free for them.
Hmm.
Well, that was wrong because back then they didn't have YouTube to work with, so they had bills in upwards of $13,000
Jesus.
per month.
Fuck.
So they had a second job that was costing them a lot of money.
But it's something that you bring up Rooster Teeth. Something I always like because I like those guys too, and something that Bernie always talked about was if you want to like work at Rooster Teeth or something other place like that, just start putting out stuff that you're passionate about and that you like and stuff, and eventually people will see that, and that'll be that's how you get it out there. You just got to start creating content.
Exactly.
He also says that he doesn't want people to work at Rooster Teeth. He wants them to start their own companies.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he said if you listen to what we have to say and you get what you get out of it with a Rooster Teeth, then you're not getting what we want you to get out of it. I think they want to inspire people to create and stuff, which I think is really cool.
You're kind of making it sound, Matt, that they only took on employees because they had to.
Well, how do you expect them to expand?
And expand, they did. They are huge now.
I mean, come on, to be honest, with what they've got like 2 animated series out. They've probably got more coming, and they've got a whole convention they run.
They actually have 4.
Which I think RTX is today, isn't it, Matt?
Yep.
They have 4 animated series. They have a convention they run. They summer like this is an operation that says the half a dozen chuckleheads who started this, you're not enough to do it. You need to hire people.
But it's amazing. It all started with those knuckleheads, chuckleheads, whatever you want to call them. It all started with them in a game.
Some people call them drunks.
Drunk gamers, you might call them, perhaps. It's just amazing to see what a small project can grow and become into a huge company. I mean, that just shows you putting stuff out there that you're passionate about. It pays dividends if you put in the work and the time.
Oh yeah, I mean, Bernie had done a vlog where he showed off his he showed off his house, and it's all fully fully automated.
Oh, that's hilarious. He's obsessed with that.
I think he's one of those guys that buys every new gadget as it comes out.
I'm pretty sure I know he has a Tesla.
Yep.
Which,
Oh, jeez. He has a fucking Tesla.
yeah. Oh man, and he always talks about putting on his auto drive feature. It's like, what the hell is auto drive? What the fuck is that? I've never heard of a car with auto drive, but apparently he has one. But what do I know?
Yeah.
But no, it's just funny to hear talk about. Well, we can go into a whole nother tangent. Getting on the Rooster Teeth stuff because I was thinking about the whole Star Citizen debacle. One of the guys from Rooster Teeth, Gus, he spent like $700+ on that game.
That's still nothing compared to the guy who dropped $10,000 on it and said he planned on spending more.
Jeez.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Star Citizen. At least you can play it.
Sort of. You can kind of play it.
I think the only thing they've got out right now is just the what was it, Squadron 42 campaign.
No, it's not out yet.
You can fly around your ships, from what I understand. They have an semi-open world with the ability to fly in some of your ships, not all of them.
You know, I know I give late careers some criticism, but that's only if they don't do frequent updates. And the guys on Star Citizen are doing one on a nearly daily basis.
Well, that's good at least. At least they're keeping up with and not ghosting people on it. Because that would be a lot worse.
That's what they call a scam if they ghost you.
Which unfortunately it does happen sometimes in crowdfunding games and whatnot.
Yeah, and plus they also hired a bunch of actors who they have to work around their schedules.
And not only that, I'm pretty sure those actors don't come cheap.
No, I mean, look at some of their actors. You have Gary Oldman. You have Mark Hamill, who is shooting his final Star Wars movie. There's crazy schedules for them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And doing a game is a lot different than doing a movie. Especially on the nature of the game, there could be a lot more dialogue to record.
Not just that, I think there was also they also used motion capture because the actors weren't just lending their voices, they were lending their likenesses too.
Likenesses and acting. Likenesses and performances.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot. Yeah, yep. Depending on the length of your campaign, that could be a range of hours. So that's interesting. But I'm excited to see. If they ever if do put out an official release in the next 2 to 7 years, let's say, I'll definitely be buying a high-end PC to get that game because the premise itself is just awesome.
Yeah, I think at most it'll be 3 years.
Think so?
Yeah, they rolled out a cinematic trailer months ago, showing off all the actors who are involved and the story content. One of the actors is Liam Cunningham, who everyone knows as Davos Seaworth in Game of Thrones. So he also had one of those crazy schedules as well.
Onion Knight, or what is it?
Yep.
Onion guy?
Yep.
Nice.
Also known as fan favorite Knight.
He was a good character.
Yeah.
I liked him, and the actor portrayed him very well.
Oh yeah, so I can't wait to see him perform in Squadron 42, and Brett's computer froze. So.
Oh no! Is he usually able to get it back up and stuff?
Yeah. He usually does.
Just as I was putting the tweet out that he was on the thing. He just had to make me a liar, didn't he?
I guess so.
What's his tag? I always forget because he changed it from. Oh, it's Celtic Brett.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
that's sort after a fashion.
Mm,
Yeah.
so
Had to do-
so September is the tentative date set for the Mythoverse release, isn't that right?
yeah, September 21st was the release date we agreed on.
Nice.
One of the things I really like about that date is that it's also when The Hobbit was first published.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool connection. I like that.
And when you consider, when you think about us in consideration to the bigger indie comics, we're basically hobbits.
Say that again?
You're right. Shit, you're right.
Compared to the bigger indie comics, we're hobbits.
And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Hobbits have lots to offer, you know.
Yeah, who destroyed the one ring?
Exactly.
Gollum.
Who
That
gets
was
to have
Gollum.
second breakfast?
Well, Gollum was once a hobbit too.
Oh snap! He got you, man. He got you,
Doesn't dis-
Smeagol.
He does. He
Got
doesn't
you.
dis. He doesn't disprove a thing I just said.
Well, you did not disprove it. Something I think that works him out.
Negative. I think that's a triple negative you just made there.
Exactly. See through the lies.
Oh boy.
But no, that's I guess I've been smoking on too much of that Hobbit or that wizard, that stuff that Gandalf.
pipeweed.
I think you mean long bottom leaf. It's called long bottom leaf.
Long bottom leaf. Oh boy, yeah, that'll definitely do the trick. I always thought that was a funny line in the Hobbit movie. I was like, that was out of nowhere.
Yep.
Was it long bottom leaf or old Toby?
Old Toby,
Well,
old faithful.
all I have to really say is that when it comes to if we become this giant hit, watching Rooster Teeth content, listening to their podcast, and talking about how even though they're technically famous, nobody really knows who they are, and that's actually gonna be great because I don't feel like being famous 24/7.
Really, you'd rather be in the kind of the background stuff.
Yeah,
You're gonna be like Jack, like only on the podcast for like the first like 20 episodes and then disappear.
I don't know. I think.
if
I
there's
think
anyone, I'd be Joel, who would be down there for.
Oh God, that's even less.
Yep.
To be honest, Matt said I'm more the Joel in this little scenario because I'm the one guy who's usually engaging people in the Discord.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember those stories about how Joel would be in every single forum thread.
Also,
Hey.
like Joel, I want to end the Fed.
And the what?
And
Oh,
End
Fed.
the Fed.
You're like yeah, the government, is that right?
And the Federal Reserve.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant federal government. Okay. We're talking gold now.
Exactly. I'm a big believer in the gold standard.
Nice. That's hilarious. Yeah, that is very much a Joel thing to believe in. That's for sure. He's always trying to convince people to buy into gold or buy into something. That's for sure.
Buy some kind of precious metal, at least something that's got actual value.
Unlike John McAfee, who wants you to buy into crypto.
Oh, we got a question in the chat. Gorgonite Emissary says, "Will there be Hobbit weed in the Mythoverse?"
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Yay!
I can either confirm or deny.
So look out for the wizards or whatever, or maybe it's gonna be a mythic. Like you can see like a mythic in the background smoking on a pipe or something. Who knows?
Well,
We'll
I
find out.
do have an idea for a specific plant for for Spirit Realm, so that'll happen.
Spirit weed, man. I dig it, man.
I definitely can. I cannot go into that. I cannot go that direction with changeling at all. It's just like I cannot touch drugs.
What do you mean in Changeling universe?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I cannot. Yeah, I can't touch drugs and as a changeling. It's just like
Well, it is a high school story after all. I mean, not that people don't use certain drugs in high school or whatever, but I kind of see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's just not appropriate.
It doesn't fit the tone that you were trying to set with the book. It doesn't fit really with the story that you're telling.
Yeah, some of the.
Fine.
I mean, like I've said it. I mean, like I've said, it's gonna have its dark. It'll have its darker moments, but there's like certain dark moments it can't have. It just can't have.
Right. Usually, drug and alcohol use is typically something you'll see it elevate a rating, for instance, on a video game. So I could totally see that being something you might want to not necessarily put in there. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of drug and alcohol use in Adobe Kroger for all three of your comics.
Yeah.
Probably, most likely. Although I have to imagine there's got to be a few magic users who like dip into drugs to sort of like, I don't know, expand their consciousness or something.
Right, I could see that. Yeah, you always have those kind of.
It makes me wonder what the fuck would you get with a wizard tripping on acid?
A dangerous wizard. Oh my god, that human's turning into a monster. I must kill him with my wand.
Especially when you start, especially because I think I've heard about, there are some people they've tripped on acid and they've seen like mechanical elves. Machine elves.
Machine elves, that's an interesting one.
It's like I said, you have a bad acid trip, it will fuck you up even when you come down.
Yeah, that is definitely something you don't want to mess with lightly. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's like I heard of one guy who thinks he's like a cup of water, and if he lays down, he's gonna spill out. It's just doing it. Yeah, doing acid is like, doing the hard shit. That is, you're asking for trouble.
Barrels has a lot of drug alcohol use, obviously.
Look at it. Well, it's set in the 1920s. I'm gonna guess the drug use is mostly though opiates.
Yeah, I would say mostly that. And then of course alcohol is the big thing back then.
Well, yeah, it's said during Prohibition. Yeah, but
I think go ahead.
Actually, I think at the time weren't opiates like still legal? Like people were actually being prescribed opium as a medication.
I believe so. That might be the case. I'm not too sure. I know cocaine, I believe, was just being introduced into the United States. If I believe I'm correct, it's like around the 1910s. It was first brought into the country around there, or started using recreationally.
It didn't really take off till the 80s, though.
True. Yeah. But it's an interesting time period. I have some stuff in the second issue that kind of involves some drug stuff, but it's like I don't want to spoil it, but we're actually working on the second issue right now. The art's all done. We're in the process of cleaning up the art, editing it a little bit, and getting it over to the letterer, and then we'll get that out to the printer. But yeah,
it's great to hear.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long process, but it's gonna be cool to get it out there. But yeah, see here.
And
go ahead.
Gordon and Emissary says Althea totally smokes it.
Smoke what?
I don't know.
I hope it's marijuana.
I think he's talking about habit weed.
I would think so. If Althea smoked anything, it would definitely be weed.
Well, writers trying to boost their creativity with substances, it's not unheard of.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean that's a classic one.
My substance is called coffee.
Hey, it's a still substance.
Yep.
Still,
Yeah.
everyone's got one of them.
I mean, everyone remembers that that classic Bill Hicks bit where he talks about like if you hate drugs, then you should toss out all your rock and roll records because the guys who made that music you love, they were high as fuck.
That's
Well,
funny.
actually, how he put it was real fucking high.
Yes, that's pretty accurate. But Organite Emery says Maeve's too innocent for that.
Yeah.
Until one of her friends tries to peer pressure into it, and she has to say no.
Oh boy.
I can guarantee none of her friends do it either.
It's funny. It totally makes sense because when I was in high school, growing up, I didn't really know anybody who smoked weed or anything like that or pot. But then in college, of course, I knew a lot more people.
Back when I was in high school, it felt like you had to know a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who knew another guy to get weed. One of my friends actually said he used to sell weed back in high school. Really?
You're like, what?
So easy for kids to get weed. They just got to raid their parents' stash because they can buy. Well, at least out in Washington, they can just hit up any place that sells it and buy it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier now with it becoming more legal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be
Funny thing about weed in Michigan is that it became legal in Lansing first.
Specifically in Lansing only.
Yeah, just Lansing, where the capital is.
Nice.
Everyone
come to our city.
I wonder what our lawmakers are doing in their off time.
They were like, "This will be a great plan. Let's smoke this joint, and then we'll plan it all out, and it'll be perfect. We're geniuses."
Yep,
man.
they are about as smart as they're as smart as Will Wheaton, honestly.
Oh boy, let's not get into Crusher territory. We'll break the damn podcast.
If we want to get back on the comics, here's something I got for you guys. I just got a rough from Antonella for our next strip.
Ooh.
I think we've got about 2 weeks. I think we've got about 2 weeks worth of strips ready to go. In fact, right?
Yep.
Nice. So you'll be able to tease those out in the next couple weeks. It sounds like.
Pretty much. We're trying. Yeah, because like I think it was the week before. It was the week while Antonella was on her trip in Italy with her sister. She was unavailable for that week, and so we had to fill the space with fan art. We're trying to get into a rhythm where we just have like a whole month's worth queued up and ready to go, so we don't run into this again.
Pretty smart. Yeah, that's always a good idea to get a good amount of the material ahead of time. That we're trendy with the magazine. Because
originally we were just sort of paying her like every week to get a new strip done, and
okay.
But like I said, this was a bit of an oversight on our part. So now we're just trying to. Now we're just trying to change up our rhythm, and like that's it. And like I said, that's kind of a thing that Dan's learned running Monthly Beans for as long as he did, was that you got to make sure you can keep a regular rhythm going, because like any bump in it can kill the momentum.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah, I think the advantage we got is that we're still very early into the webcomics life cycle, that we can be excused one little bump just for an oversight. But yeah,
1 week's 1-2 weeks, that's no big deal. And the best thing is that you guys are learning from it.
Exactly. And like I said, so like I said, we're now gonna try and like make sure we've got at least a whole month's worth queued up.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, I'm always enjoying reading those week to week. They're always quite fun.
Yeah, this next one is going to be very. This next one is going to be is probably the funniest one I've written so far. It's
nice.
it.
Now, what's the last one? The last one was the one with the cat and Baby May, right?
No, actually, the last one was. I'll link it in the chat.
I may have missed. Actually, it looks like I missed the last one. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I missed a couple.
The organist says LP has Hobbit weed, Adobe has alcohol, and Maeve has My Little Pony.
Sounds pretty accurate to me.
Okay, I just linked it in the chat. So, Matt, how about you explain this one since you wrote it?
So yeah, I'm going to. So yeah, basically, what?
It's in the chat.
Okay.
I'll put it into the YouTube as well, just in case you guys want to go check it out.
Good idea.
Yeah, maybe. Now, Matt, you were going to say?
We have this one is titled "The Spirit of Dead Air."
So basically, there's this gag.
Oh, I should. Oh.
It's a gag that's based around a character from Changeling. This is actually the first time we have a supporting character from Changeling interacting with any other character outside of Adobe Kroger and Changeling.
Yep.
Boom.
But
I love it.
You should probably white box yourself, Michael. So
Is it white box now?
Yeah, but basically this is how. And what happens every time you get that moment where nobody's talking after you said something, all the nervous becomes extremely nervous. Yep.
Sorry, keep speaking of your. What would you? Sorry, go ahead on that one.
It's all right. I'm just not certain about how much I can reveal.
Can we? I think we can at least reveal where we got the meme from, though.
Yeah. So basically, the model for Kate Dracula is often known as the Spirit of Dead Air on streams. Yeah, so we're referencing it.
Yeah.
Because why not?
God, she's panicking.
Yep.
You don't usually see Althea like this.
She normally keeps her cool, doesn't she?
Yep. So
I must deal with it. And look who's in the background.
Yep, Kate Dracula.
But
for the record, she isn't a vampire. She's a vampiric changeling.
Nice.
Basically, Mytho Chippies takes the characters and put them into situations that you normally don't see them in.
That's funny.
Or have them do things they normally wouldn't do.
That's funny. I love checking those out. They're always just so funny. It's cool to see because since they're in strip format, you get kind of like a self-contained little short story or whatever the premises of that one, but it's all self-contained in one page.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also helped me a lot because I've learned to it's helped me learn to get a little bit more economic with how I write.
Really? That's really interesting. That must be a useful skill to kind of be able to develop.
Yeah, I think because one thing I've noticed is that I've got a little is that my writing's had a little too much fat on it.
Nice, you're trimming that up and getting it nice and lean.
Yeah, exactly. Gorgonite asks, speaking of Mytho Chibis, how much cash did Althea get from that concentrated binky?
Uh,
Uh, she got enough for a rent.
Looks like they gave her enough. They were gracious enough to give her another one.
Yep.
They you know what? Hey, they have a racket going here. They could just keep selling them. Changeling Binky, probably go for a lot of money. You know.
Well, the thing is that the binky's concentrated to make. Was that in the strip before that one? Maeve was just throwing a tantrum, and so to get her to be quiet,
yeah.
don't be consecrated or binky.
She had no other choice. It was a last resort, you might say. How?
And then Althea realized I could make a lot of money off this.
Looks very poor Maeve. That looks so violent.
That's the thing in the Mytho Chibi's universe, Maeve's scream doesn't paralyze people with fear. It's basically like a sonic boom.
I was gonna say it looks like there's like a lot of wind is blowing past.
It's a little bit, yeah. It's kind of like it's basically like the X-Men Banshee.
X-Men Banshee. I'm not familiar with that one character.
There's you know X-Men and you don't know Banshee.
Was that in any? Is that an X3?
No. Well, no, I don't think he was an X-Men First Class.
First Class, he was.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot. Epic fail.
Yeah, and his abilities are sonic screams, concussive blasts, ability to cause nausea, disorientation, or unconsciousness.
And that's what Maeve can do.
Sort of. It's just more like she just screams and everything just gets wrecked.
Another thing is that Maeve's a tougher baby than she looks.
Oh yeah, Maeve is like a super baby, like in Dragon Ball Z. You know, how the kids are like ridiculous OP.
Yeah, I wonder how many. I don't see how anyone could look at Gohan as a kid, see all those muscles, and just go, that's definitely a normal kid.
We're not gonna wonder anything about this.
It kind of makes sense. I mean, like, there's one strip where Adobe just throws her into her crib.
And they did threaten to throw her onto the moon at one point.
Adobe did. That was
awesome. That was a great moment. That was one of my favorites for sure. Nice.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad to hear things are moving along with the webcomic, and you guys are making progress on your own individual comics as well. I don't suppose you guys can share anything about what's going, any progress from Dan's project at the moment.
Like I said, the only thing I know off the top of my head is that Leandro's got at least half the book inked right
now. Nice. That's perfect. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
That's I think the hoodies also arrived, I think, and and his wife is working on them.
Oh, nice. Putting all the last final touches on it.
I think so. I think we had about 15 orders of those to fill. Those are going to be, and just so we have said this on the Radio Mythoverse stream, but this is just so it's on the Wikid as well. The hoodies will arrive separately from the books and other print material.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So Wikid handles all the print material. and Dan and his wife handle the hoodies, and probably other like apparel merchandise as we might make. We're
Nice,
still
yeah.
figuring that out. We're still figuring that out. But so if you pledged for a hoodie for one of the hoodie tiers, you'll be getting 2 packages in the mail.
Now, do you have an expectation or an estimate yet on when the hoodies might be shipping out?
I'm not. I think what's gonna be since Dan's wife has to do them by hand. I think they're gonna be shipped out as they go. So
Okay.
she finishes one hoodie, that one gets shipped out to whomever ordered it, and so on and so forth. So
And you'll probably just go in order of backers or something like
pretty
that.
much. I will make sure that if you pledged for a hoodie, I'll inform you when it's being shipped out.
Nice. Yeah. So if you got the hoodie, you just got to be patient and wait for yours to get produced and sent out.
Yeah. So inevitably there are going to be people who will get theirs first. Because, like I said, Dan's wife is doing this kind of all by herself, and so she can only do so many of these at once.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think it'll be definitely worth the wait, though. People are really excited about it, real happy with these hoodies once they get them.
Oh yeah.
Heck, I wish I had one.
We definitely got about a few people who are chomping at the bit to get their hoodie.
Maybe maybe we'll see who gets to be the first one to post theirs on social media. That's always fun to see the race to first.
Yep.
I can guarantee. I know one of our backers has said she's gonna spam her Instagram with it.
Nice. Well, that'd be pretty fitting if she got the first one in there then. But yeah, that's cool. It's really exciting to see all that and hear that you guys are, like I said, are making good progress and stuff. So it'll be cool come September, man. Let's see, it's July, August, only a few more months away, man. It's coming fast.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
It'll be cool to see. What we're really excited about is getting Mythoverse out onto the tables at some conventions, because we had we were just at AlienCon, recently, and the Mythoverse, or the Changeling print. We had the group photo print out on display. That was a good seller. People were really excited about that, the title and stuff, and I had a lot of people come by bringing younger age kids and young teens as well, and that was another big one for them. Seeing that there's an all ages title that they, a wider audience can enjoy. So there's a lot of buzz and a lot of people picking up those prints. So I can't wait to get all the Mythoverse out on the table.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm hoping I can at least make an appearance at Jet City Comics Show in November. That's
November, huh? Nice.
Yeah, that's Tacoma's convention.
Very cool. Yeah.
It's literally in my backyard. That would be the easiest one for me to make.
Maybe we'll have to talk to you about it, because I know Matt and I were talking about for at least for next year, but who knows if November would work as well. But at the very least next year, we really want to start going out to conventions with some of you guys. So for next year, Matt and I's plan is to hit up Washington at a convention with you next year, and then New Mexico.
At least in my immediate area, there's at least 3 we can do. You got Jet City. You got Jet City Comic Show in Tacoma. There's there's Sakura Con, which is an anime con in I think March or April. That's up in Seattle, and of course there's Emerald City Comic Con, which is also up in Seattle.
Nice. Yeah, so there's a couple different options there. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that'd be awesome to be able to show support with you guys and head out to the convention.
Yeah, I'm also hoping that if I'm going to be traveling out of state, I think we can at least we can at least hit up some of the cons down in Oregon.
It's not a bad idea. It's a little bit closer to us. That's for sure.
Mm.
Kind of about I guess halfway or so, maybe.
Yeah, like there's I think there's Rose City Comic Con, which is in Portland.
Nice.
I'd have to. I've got friends down in Oregon. I'll have to ask them what cons they, for like a list of cons I know about. But yeah, that's the only one I know off the top of my head. I did long term, like well, I don't want to. I don't know if this counts as long term, but I guess a little bit further than that. I would I do plan on trying to make one of the cons down in California because one thing I want to at least get. One thing I want to get is that Raven has actually Raven Monroe, who's in our Discord and is one of our brand ambassadors, which is a position we started as it's basically someone who goes out to their local comic book shops and conventions, and their job is basically to go help spread brand awareness for the Mythoverse. And Raven's the first one we've got, and she's also said she would cosplay as Maeve in a heartbeat, and I so want to get a pic with her at a con.
That's fun, dude.
Yeah,
that's when you really know you've got something, when people start cosplaying.
Yes, I do, and Raven's down in California, it's down in San Diego, and so like I'd have to really make the trip out there, and right now probably not in the cards, but I think as time goes on, I could see myself in a few, if things are successful and the sales are good, but in the money and I've got my income stable, I could probably see myself making the trip down to California.
Nice. Yeah, we'd definitely like to see if you made it down here at some point.
Yeah.
We'll show you all the good stuff.
Last time I was in California, I was 8 years old.
Jeez. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been up to Seattle, but not that long.
Yeah, we were there to go to visit SeaWorld. I still remember my brother actually got to my brother actually got to swim with the dolphins.
Nice. Oh man, that's a pretty good reason. No Disneyland, huh? Just SeaWorld?
And we didn't go to Disneyland, we went to SeaWorld.
Oh, that's a travesty. You'll have to.
Well, when we were living in Florida, we went to Disney World twice.
That's fair then.
To be honest, Disney World's better.
No way, man.
Disney World has
back me up, man. Back me up, Matt. Disneyland's way better than Disney World. He's not answering. I don't think he has an opinion.
I think the Spirit of Dead Air got Matt.
Oh God. Oh no. Please say it ain't so.
Okay, here's why. But yeah, here's my case. Disney World, 4 parks, 2 water parks, and an entire hotel resort.
Here's my counter argument. They have the original Magic Kingdom over at Disney World, but it's nowhere near as good as the original. It's just it's like a knockoff almost. Like all the rides are just set up totally wrong. It's all wrong. It's all wrong.
Well, Disney World is their flagship theme park, so it's definitely they're going to put more money into that than Disneyland.
That's not true. Disneyland is the flagship.
Disneyland was the first, but come on.
Yeah.
Who do you think makes more money?
Yeah, unfortunately, Disney World makes more money because of how big it is.
I stand by I've been to both, and I stand by my assertion that Disneyland is better. That's just my opinion.
Come on. I mean, sure, I'll give you Epcot. It's not that great, but come on, you got.
That's cool. Epcot's fun, you know.
About the only cool thing about Epcot is the Spaceship Earth ride.
And yeah, does Disney World have the Star Wars land that they're opening?
Yes, I think it does, but it's in Disney MGM Studios.
Okay.
Actually, fuck. I was 10 years old when we first went to Disney World, and they had Star Wars rides at that park, and that was like I was 10 years old and 20 right now, so that was like
Disney's had their eye on Star Wars for a
that was
long
back
time.
in 2001.
I guess that just shows you how much Disney has had their eye on that property for so long, I guess.
Sure.
Oh yeah, because I remember going to Disney World one year, and there was also a lot of Star Trek merchandise too. I found that weird.
That's interesting. Hey man,
Matthew
they're
Reese-
good at their game. They know what they're doing.
Yep.
By the way, Matthew Reese is in the chat and he says hi.
Hey.
Yo, what's up? He's back. So yeah, you know, Mythoverse Land. When are we getting Mythoverse Land?
I think we'd to be honest, Michael, I think if we were gonna have a Wicked theme park, they'd have to do it. It'd have to be under the entire Wicked banner. So like,
How cool would that be, though, right?
20 years from now.
You could go to the Wild West for Jack Irons, and then the future for McKinnon Chronicles, or
it's not just the Wild West. It's not just the Wild West. It's a whole post-apocalyptic future. And
true, yeah, it is a little bit more than just the Wild West. That's true. It's more like a Mad Max kind of dystopian.
Mad Max, Fallout. It's got a bit like, I mean, to Cody's studies, it's a bit of everything.
We can definitely dream that's something that would be amazing. But we'll have to wait for that on that one, I think, for now.
Oh yes.
But we're getting closer to the end of our hour here. What do you guys got going on in the next couple weeks and stuff?
I think it's more or less just trying to just keep the machine going as
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, just kind of keep the pages coming in and keep all the progress flowing through.
Yep.
Do you find time for yourself amongst all the busyness that you guys have going on?
I don't think so. It's just like I said, it kind of ties back to what I said earlier. When you make comics, especially if you're supporting it with a day job, it pretty much becomes a second full-time job for yourself. And worst part is this is one where you have to have a lot of delayed gratification.
You gotta be patient with it.
Yeah, I know. Like you kind of have to. For like the first, I don't even know how long it goes, but like for the first period, you're basically just spending money to make money, and you just got to be willing to, like I said, you got to be willing to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, you gotta have to be passionate about it, I think, to be able to make it through that.
You gotta be passionate. You gotta be patient, and like, and you gotta be, and like I said, you gotta be willing to just work your ass off. You cannot let up. You just basically gotta keep your foot on the gas pedal and not take it off.
And that pays off in the end.
It does.
Clearly, we see by your guys' success on your crowdfunding. Now, as I said, we're kind of getting to the end here, but real quick before we go, you guys have some plans to bring back the book to crowdfunding. Is that for a short run? Is that correct? Or did I get that wrong?
Yeah.
I think what we're planning on is we are going to run another crowdfunder for the second issues.
Oh, okay.
Well,
nice.
What the plan at this time is, because we still haven't worked out everything. I think at this time what we plan to do is we are going to wait to see how the first issues sell, and if they sell well, that can actually lower our goal. Because we can just take the money, because we can take the profits we make off the books and just pour them into making more.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it's also to give everyone who didn't bid the Kickstarter because they didn't like how certain policies of Kickstarter, give them an equal chance to get the special covers.
Nice, nice. So there'll be another opportunity for those who missed out on the first run of
Yep.
that. Very nice. I think that's a nice way to do it. Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on. Where can people follow you online so that people can make sure they get your books and check out all your stuff coming out?
Well, you got you have the official Mythoverse Twitter, which is just a man. We set that up and I can't even remember it. It's just I'm pulling it up on Twitter right now. It's just Mythoverse on Twitter.
Let's see.
That one's just general
Well,
updates.
yeah,
That's just a
Yeah.
general update account. You're not gonna find much in the way of you're not gonna find much of personal interaction there. It just exists there to keep people in the loop.
Gotta keep people in the loop.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Then
Yeah,
you have, sorry, Matt.
it's all right. Just so people don't get confused, the handle is at Mythoverse and not just Mythoverse.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where can people follow you, Brett? If they want to specifically follow you.
You have me at Celtic Brett. Since Dan's not here, you can find Dan at Dan_Sakuro.
And what about you, Matt, as well?
You can find me at Matt Trin on Twitter.
Also, we'd be remiss if we left out the official Mythoverse YouTube where we do our weekly radio Mythoverse stream, which is it's half us doing updates, keeping people up to date, and then half us hanging out with everyone in our Discord.
Nice. Yeah, have your radio shows been going?
It's actually
Been having
been
a lot of fun with it.
yeah, it's fun, and we got the audience. The audience has been pretty consistent
Nice.
so far, and not just the views have been good too.
That's excellent. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear that. I know we always like to see you guys when you guys go live on that.
We're also planning on expanding more shows that Matt and I can run just so there's more content. If you plan on hanging out on one of these streams, about the only way you're going to be able to get in on it is if you're in the Discord.
Oh, okay. So it's a lot of them are like semi-private in a way. Kind of.
Yes.
You need a link, I would think, or something like that.
It's just more like you got to be there. We have regulars who show up. I think Salem's been in every show so far, hasn't he?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Salem's a good guy. He'll be coming on in the next segment, actually.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
mean that's great, man. Good to hear
And-
that. Yeah.
And that's I think about the only other thing I can name off the top of my head is that I also set up a Twitch channel for Maeve. And what's going to be happening there is that in the next the next 2 to 3 weeks, the voice actress for Maeve, Kylie, she's going to be doing live streams on Twitch where she just plays a game as a Maeve in character.
Nice, dude.
And so I'll link that Twitch.
I was gonna say, do you mind linking that for me?
Yes, I
wanted to put that in there.
will. I will get that. I'll get her Twitch right now. And I recommend that if you can, please donate to Kylie. Please donate to the stream because Kylie get everything that all the donations Kylie gets off that. Shit, Twitch is.
That's all
What I was going to say is, any donations made off those streams, they go to Kylie. I'm not keeping any of them.
So yeah,
Put it in the chat.
did you link that somewhere or?
I just linked it in the chat right now.
The YouTube chat or which chat?
The YouTube chat. I'll send it to you right now. Over Twitter.
That way I
Yeah.
can put it into the YouTube. That way everyone can check it out. Looks like we're joined by Jeremy. How's it going,
Hi,
man?
Jeremy.
Hey
Hey,
guys.
Jeremy.
Tired, right?
Well, yeah.
Isn't it, hey guy? Yeah, because Jeremy just recently became a dad.
Yeah, that's right.
Woo! Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Mhm.
She's really good at keeping
So,
up.
yeah, so now Jeremy and Dana. So now Jeremy and Dana have shit to bond over.
Indeed.
Because I think like up until now, Dan was like the only parent on Wicked, wasn't he?
I think so. I don't know.
I think no Scott, right? Yeah, Scott has a
wait,
kid.
yeah,
Scott,
Scott,
right.
yeah, Scott has a kid too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So now we have
the,
3 Wicked dads.
the wicked dads are growing.
That's right.
They've gained a number. But
yeah.
thanks for taking time to join us. I appreciate it, Jeremy.
Oh, sure. No problem.
Yeah. And so as in terms of the Mythoverse, I think we put up all the links. Although you didn't get me the Twitch link.
I did. I sent the Twitch link over Twitter.
Oh, okay. Let me go check it out, and I'll put that up there for everyone. And then, what do you guys got going on for the rest of the day?
I got about a couple hours before I have to head out to work.
Okay, yeah.
Is Twitch
Yeah.
like the new Twitter? Or, I mean, what is it?
Twitch is basically a streaming site.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much primarily used for video games, although you can use it for other stuff. Kind of, I think.
Okay.
A lot of people who stream video games, they go to Twitch. Vamp Candy has a really good audience over on Twitch.
Okay. So it's like YouTube, but more focused on gamers.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I would say
I guess you would say that's primary. That's Twitch's primary audience. But like I said, it's not all gamers. Like Lenore did a Twitch stream where she was just doing art, but
Yeah.
it is. I guess you could, it has a primarily gamer focused audience, but it's really more exists as a actually it was kind of filling a need that up until recently YouTube didn't have. Like I think like what happened was Twitch came on the scene first, and then shortly after, YouTube started introducing the ability to stream. Does that sound about right, Matt?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
It's interesting to me the way that video games will drive technology that aren't video games. I mean, if I could be wrong, but I think that even Slack didn't that start out as like an intercompany communication for a game?
It did.
Yeah, I mean it's quite extraordinary just to see how the video game economy, plays out.
Mm-hmm. No, that is interesting.
So,
Oops.
so yeah, I'm
We
just getting back into the loop now. Have you guys, Wicked people, have you seen the proof for Movie Men yet?
No, I'll have to talk to you about that later. I'm waiting for it to hear back from my printer. I didn't get the proofs that I was expecting.
Okay, all right.
So unfortunately, not at this time. But
I kind of think the 4th of July week is,
yeah, that could have had something. It could delay the delivery, I suppose.
Yeah, 4th of July. Especially considering that there's a lot of businesses that close on 4th of July because it's a federal holiday.
Yeah, and then a lot of because of when it fell this week, a lot closed on the 5th as well. So, I mean, I know a lot up here. There was a lot of stuff that was closed on the 5th.
Yeah, that's quite possible. But yeah, definitely I'll give you check in with you later, and we can give you an update on
Sure.
some stuff more on that.
Yeah, sorry to do that on open comms. I'm just not thinking clearly.
No worries. It's no worries at all. It's
Okay.
totally fine. No problem with me.
Okay.
But
I think
thank you.
Matt and I will take our leave now and just hand the floor
Yeah,
over to
please,
Jeremy and Tank.
sure, yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, bye.
See you, Mythoverse, guys.
later.
Hey, Tank, how's it going?
It's
Going interesting. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's been a while. Yeah. How you been?
Basically, life and everything just gets in the way the whole time of me
Oh, I
trying
feel
to
it.
join. So now my father recently had Achilles tendon surgery, so
Oof.
I've had to help out a lot around the house while he's still in recovery and everything.
Okay, no, I totally get that.
My
Yeah.
time has not exactly been my own.
That makes it tough, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not easy to get things done when like you said, when life gets in the way. But I appreciate making time to join us here. That really means a lot to us that you're able to make it.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Thanks.
But yeah, so what have you been up to these days? Other than that, what's been taken? Have you been able to work on your novel at all in
I
terms
have.
of writing and editing and all that? And
Editing, I'm just waiting. The first one's done and dusted from my side. I'm just waiting
Nice.
for the transcribing to happen from present to past tense
Oh,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
those wonderful little things.
the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah, so once that's done, I have made a choice though. I will be running a crowdfunder in the upcoming period
Oh,
of time.
nice. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I think that's a good move.
No, the reason why, and it's actually, I did a little bit of reconnaissance, as it were, just a little bit of fact finding. I walked into a local store and just walked through the book section, and even ones that just use stock photographs automatically draw your eye. So if you go into this with a blank cover and a logo, and you put it on shelves, you're pretty much sunk because nobody's going to be looking at your book. It's going to be like, what is this? So,
Yeah, I get
I've
that. Yeah,
been
that makes a lot of
looking-
sense.
and in between all that, I've been looking at a few crowdfunders. There's a lot of novels that have recently been doing crowdfunders purely to get the covers funded and editing and things. So from that side, I've been just fact finding, just seeing how to organize tiers and things like that. Now, my difference is because I already have a lot of artwork done and a lot of things I want to do, I will be doing it slightly differently because some of the art pieces I've already have done, obviously not colored and things like that, and I would like to offer them colored to people. And eventually, should we get to specific tiers, I'd like to have pinups done by a few artists that I have in mind. But that is all on the wish list. At the current point in time, I'm focusing purely on just a fairly moderate goal, just to get cover art, just to get a proper illustrated cover done.
Cool.
So it's going to be a
yeah.
fairly low goal,
Okay.
but nothing too crazy.
Interesting.
I'll
So
I'll
you have
definitely.
a
I'll
art
definitely.
style and sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll definitely throw it on that campaign to help out.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's still very much in the planning phases. I've got no time to when I'm going to go live. I'm thinking later this year, maybe. I don't know. It all depends on how it all shakes out because it's a fairly low goal and all of that. And then apart from that, everybody knows Killbox, the artist who's been doing the illustrations for me for the showpieces of the characters and armor, the armor concepts and the weapon concepts. We are still hard at work, and it's going to be good. We've made a few additions, a few changes. Some of the characters will be illustrated in their later armors as the story progresses. So not the current armors that if you read the story now, you will not see them in their current armor, although there will be illustrations of what that armor would potentially look like. However, once the show pieces are done, there'll be more in their replacement armors due to various
Sorry, you're cutting out there for me for a second.
replaced.
Do you mind repeating that last part?
Yeah.
Sorry, there.
Bro, where did you
Sorry
miss
about
out? No problem. It's just part and parcel of
Oh, sorry.
machete connection. Just a
Okay.
little
Well, you're good
bit
now.
of
You're good now.
out. Yeah, no, but I need to know where you missed out.
It was just like the last maybe 10, 15 seconds, I would say.
Basically, well, like I was saying, some of the characters, when the illustrations are done, the showpieces of them in armor. So there's like 3 done already of Gunnar, Anastasia, and Evelyn. Some of the other characters might be shown off in some of the newer armor, which they'll be getting as the story. What's going on? I've got audio.
Yeah, you cut out of it.
Yeah, again.
It's like they don't want. It's like the spoiler gods don't want you to tell us
The spoiler gods spoken.
This is nothing. There's nothing spoiler about it. There's nothing spoiler what I'm revealing. So that's just the funny thing about it all.
That's the irony, right?
Some illustrations will be of characters in newer armor.
Okay.
End of story.
got every word of that.
We did get that one last part. Yeah.
So, man,
but that's exciting, man. I know, like you said, I'd be backing that one in an instant because that'd be really cool to see you get an interesting cover. I wanted to ask you earlier, did you have an art style in mind, like kind of a particular style you wanted to go for the cover?
Not really so much a style, but I have an artist in mind that I've spoken to previously.
Mm-hmm.
She was willing to do it, but unfortunately at that point in time, I was not able to pretty much fund that cover.
I get that.
So I would like to see if, obviously, contact her again, see if she would be willing to hold out on getting this done after, obviously doing a crowdfunding and getting all the money, and then paying this artist for a cover. If not, probably look for somebody else. I've got a line on some people who have artists that would be willing to help out if the campaign and everything does not coincide with whatever projects they have running. But apart from that, yeah, that's where everything stands right now.
Okay.
Nice, man. Nice. I'm glad to hear that you have a plan for going forward with this. That's good to hear. And I like I said, I think crowdfunding is gonna be awesome, man. I know a lot of people follow you and are really interested to see what your work is all about. So, crowdfunding I think will be a good way to get people involved with it because I know you've been putting out a lot of interesting art.
The majority of the people that follow me are more for shit posting than anything else.
Hey man, you gotta have an equal balance, right? You gotta shit post, and then you draw them with the shit posting, and they stay for the content.
Tank does an amazing job with the memes. You're very good, very, very good at promoting with memes.
You and Ebi are like the masters, I would have to say.
Yeah.
I try.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, that's great. And we're also joined by Salem. How's it going, Salem?
It's going great. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I appreciate you joining us. Did you have a nice holiday?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Just did some grilling. That's
nice.
Pretty much the excitement. That's as far as exciting as it goes.
Hey man, grilling's always nice.
Yep.
It's always good. Sometimes it's nice just to have a chill time, back at the place, not have to deal with all the crowds and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And but by the way, what about you two? Do you guys do much do you guys even celebrate 4th of July?
I was in the hospital.
Oh gosh. So tough times.
Well, I mean, not that tough. It was just my so my wife had a C-section and the recovery took a while.
Okay, yeah.
So it wasn't until the 5th of July that we got released to go home.
Oh wow! So you guys spent the 4th of July in the hospital?
Yeah, I mean we heard we heard a few fireworks. But
sorry to hear that. She's on feeling better now, or?
I mean, it's a slow process. It's not.
Okay, yeah.
It's somewhat better, but then there's also the whole trying to get through the night with the kid. A lot of times babies are like nocturnal. That's when they're most active, and in the womb, right? And so then they come out, and it takes them a long time to flip around to the daytime, more daytime and sleep at night schedule, and so we're sort of dealing with that.
Jeez.
I think I got about 3 hours of sleep last night.
Oh,
hard to
Yikes.
say.
And you're still here at the podcast,
That's right.
That's
But
awesome.
but you notice how I usually do the early morning one. And I'm just like,
Good
nope. I need to
You're like,
just
I'm
do
going to take the latest this time,
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
yeah. So but yeah, so that's been my life for the last week. I was hoping I'd be able to get a bunch of comic book writing done, but
Oh, you poor fool.
yeah.
Nope.
No.
That's always going to be the biggest problem with writing is every time that you want to write is when real life comes knocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did come up with a couple of good comic book ideas though that I did
Nice.
write some notes towards. So but I think I came up with my best title of all time. It'd be for a crime comic, and it would be titled "I'll Sleep When You're Dead."
Nice. That's a
I
pretty
have no
catchy
idea
title,
why I
I'll
would be
admit.
obsessed with sleep over the last week.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I came up with a couple of good gags to throw into the Movie Man Sporkman crossover, so that'll help a bit.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to that crossover.
Yeah.
We'll have to have you and Chuck and Eric on one time together to talk some more about that as we get closer to it.
Yeah, absolutely, we will.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh, by the way, were they? I assume they were on earlier today.
No, they weren't able to make it today to the Today
Okay.
shows, unfortunately.
Well, I
Maybe
wish
too much
we could,
partying.
can we throw confetti and because they got funded on Kickstarter.
Oh, I know, isn't that exciting?
I was so excited.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that coming back and to see that was great.
Yeah, so it'll help to get them closer to the they'll fund more stuff. That's really cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to. There's so many good comics coming out that I want to get Sporkman in my hands and the stuff we're putting out Mythoverse. I can't wait to hold the bad boys and read through them.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get my hoodie.
Yeah. No, I ordered one and my wife's gonna wear it, so
Mm-hmm.
everyone's gonna be asking, what is that? Oh, well, have you ever heard of the Mythoverse?
Oh, oops. Did you guys hear on the last segment that they're actually starting to work on the hoodies right now?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Brett was just talking about how they just got the hoodies in and they're gonna start putting in putting it all together and doing the final touches and putting them together by hand, I guess.
Okay. Cool.
And then they'll start shipping them out as they kind of get completed.
Cool.
So definitely be on lookout for an email.
All right.
To find out when yours is getting shipped.
I will. I'll track it closely.
Definitely cool to hear that you guys both got in on that fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounded like fun. I'd never heard of a comic book offering a hoodie. So, I think
that's not just any hoodie. That's the Smug Cat hoodie.
Yeah, Smug Cat hoodie. But I guess I take it back. I think Billy Tucci did one of those for Zombie Sama or something. But it was it was just a picture from the comic. It wasn't a cool design like this.
Okay, yeah.
I see that. That's where. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
No, that's exactly the thing. I mean, the hoodie design is one of those things. From one of the characters actually wears it, and to see that being realized, I think is just a stroke of brilliance.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm not making this up, by the way. A couple years ago, there was several years back, there with I guess it was the Trayvon Martin shooting. There was controversy over whether or not hoodies were sort of ghetto wear. And I'm from Washington State, where everybody has a hoodie. I don't care who you are. I mean, it's most of us have multiple hoodies and wear them quite often because they're easily customizable for fast changing weather. Especially with you can pull them back, or it starts to rain a little bit. And I wrote an op-ed that was published in a DC newspaper called Politico, and it was titled "Let Our Hoodies Go."
That's an interesting title. What was the conclusion to that one?
Well, I just said, like, stop treating a normal item of clothing as a political statement. Like, it's just so many people wear these things. They're not what you think they are. Stop it.
Yeah, it's definitely become a stereotypical kind of thing, like used to judge people,
Yeah.
Unfairly.
So, but anyways, so
But yeah, what have you been up to, Salem? I always rag on you for doing yard work, but what have you been up to this week?
Oh, I don't do artwork, dude.
Not artwork, yard work.
Yard work.
Because
Well,
I like to rag on you for that.
Yeah, well, today I actually did a bunch of. I was just helping somebody out with. They had to get this state troopers place get all their grass mowed and stuff, and I gave them a hand with that.
Nice, man.
So it was yard work, but not in my yard.
Hey, man, yeah, we'll give you a pass. Yeah, we'll give you a pass on that one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You could combine yard work and artwork. You could get into like a hedge sculpting and stuff.
Yard.
I'm not. That's why I'm in writing, man. I can't do it physically.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because you've been teasing a little bit about your kind of the monster universe that you've been cooking up. Is there anything you want to share or can tell us about that?
Well, I just shared a tweet just talking about like I told you guys that that I was trying to base it off of like a like Lovecraftian type of thing. So it's like I've already decided that to share like the deities that look over the universe that I kind of created. And you're not going to see a lot of these guys, but I figured it'd be fun just to share and just maybe draw some attention, make people just give them something to interest them if they didn't see it yet.
Because to draw them into the world that you're building.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the focus is going to be on the monsters and the incident going on with the characters are thrown into it, but in the background, I do have like an overarching like story going on. So, but it's not something that you necessarily have to read one book. I mean, like one story to the other. It's like you can pick them up at any. In any order and be able to try to piece some stuff together, figure out what's going on.
And so are these going to be short or long novels, or how's that coming together?
They're going to be short stories to possibly novellas. I mean, I don't really have a length, like concrete length. It's just whichever one I'm working on, it'll be the length that I think is appropriate and necessary to get the story across.
So it could be a combination of short novels and short stories as well.
Yeah, it might be, but probably not. I think like maybe the longest one might be if I get it done to the point, it might be like 20 to 30 pages on Microsoft Word. So
maybe that's 60 pages or so.
Yeah, so it's not they're not too long. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that sounds about right for a medium, short to medium length story. I think that sounds about perfect.
Yeah. So the first collection will be 6 of them, and then I'll take a break on that, and I'll work on my other big stuff that I want to put attention to, and then I'll return to write another 6 of them, and I'll keep adding on to it because I made it so that I can always return to this.
So if you did 3 of them, it would be 666.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you can make the last one be about the devil, and then it all comes together.
Well, in this one, there's no. I can't say what the quote unquote evil is, but I was planning in the 3rd volume to introduce something a little bigger. So
are you? You said it was Lovecraftian in nature. Were you planning to directly kind of make it like a fan fiction in a way, or kind of more just take the themes and create your own deities?
More themes. I've created my own deities,
nice.
and I mean I've borrowed heavily from the idea that sometimes knowledge creates madness. So a lot of these monsters, their backstory for most of them is that they were born from people being witnessed to things that they probably shouldn't have.
That insight, that knowledge creates madness.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but for some reason I'm thinking of the story of the Garden of Eden and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And
no, that's the kind of those are themes that are found within Lovecraft and pretty much all creation myths. It's it's why it's so awesome. It's like you can always return to it. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jeremy.
No, that's an interesting point. Yeah, I didn't really think about it that way.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, the thought I had was it'd be interesting to sort of retell the Garden of Eden story with that specifically in mind. The idea that you were gonna punch up this idea that them eating this fruit that they think gives them special knowledge, drives them nuts.
It would be perfect too. Instead of a snake, it could be the Dagon. You could have like one of those serpent ones or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'll share a little bit of. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler, but these deities in their in the alternative field of existence, I call them the scath fields, as to where they live, which is actually reality, but it's full of stuff that we ourselves can't see. And in there are two giant dragons and I'm keeping it I'm trying to keep all the details at bay, and I'm also trying to make it so that it's like nothing is too straightforward. Like you can be able to think about it and try to figure it out for yourself. But there are actually two dragons that are going at that are always there, and they're supposed to be representative of, so all the deities are supposed to represent an element on Earth.
Okay.
And these two dragons, which are under the control of the spirit god, which is the fifth element per se, is actually supposed to be representative of yin and yang, and they're connected to mankind's morality.
Okay.
And actually, one of them is named Nether, which is Gaelic for the serpent.
All right.
So I actually was taking into consideration what you were like a kind of like a Garden of Eden story, because typically serpents are usually attributed to like knowledge or cunningness, and in regards to like our morality, a serpent is typically associated with having knowledge hidden and in wait, and it's always coming up in an instant where it probably wasn't the best to be revealed. And I mean, the ultimate example like you brought up is the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put a lot of thought into this. Like I'm not just trying to like make things just because that sounds cool or this sounds cool. So I'm having a lot of fun putting it together, and but like I said, that kind of stuff is more going to be in the background.
Okay.
I've also decided to kind of borrow a little bit from Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and at the end of each story, I'm going to have like a glossary of sorts, and it'll be like an item or term description, and then I will give the information regarding to it the same way that Bloodborne and Dark Souls items are described, which is like the background story is almost in the description of an item or term.
Okay.
So you can kind of discover more as you more into the story as you choose to, in a way. Kind of you get rewarded for diving into it more.
Yeah, like I'd want it to be like maybe you could probably just read them each individually and just like take it in as just like, oh cool, a monster story. I mean, I'm trying to make it so that it can be just as entertaining as that. But
that's
it's like
smart.
If you want to go a little deeper into it, there's actually cults in the background, and there's these like almost these like my version of like eldritch gods and stuff.
Now, do you want to say Gorgonite Emissary wants to point out? Just remember, it ain't always about length. You have to consider girth as well. So
Oh my
keep that in
God.
mind.
Leave it to Gorgonite to turn it into something sexual.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. I couldn't help myself.
Water.
What's that?
They could be selling bath water.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
So
you
I didn't
never know.
I didn't mean to go on and on. I just
Oh, that's funny.
It all sounds very cool, Salem. I'm
I'm really looking. Yeah, me too, man. That's gonna be really cool. I'm a huge Monsters fan. I've been totally digging all the Godzilla stuff and the Monster Universe they've been doing. So bring on another Monster Universe for me, man. I'm ready for more monsters, dude.
Yeah, and I should also mention that this upcoming weekend is when I'm taking my trip to the UP to go tour some mines, which is supposed to get me some inspiration for the location of one of the stories I'm working on. So,
Dude, I know. I think that's gonna be really cool. You get that firsthand experience of being there. It can change your perspective when you write about a place. It's totally different experience.
Oh yeah, and this one's actually supposed to be really important because this is the one where it's like I do kind of bring the stuff going on in the background more to the foreground, and I've decided to do this with an original monster. This one is not made by, like, I usually grab folklore monsters or like mythological figures, but this time I grabbed something completely original from a artist friend of mine.
Nice.
And so yeah, this I think that out of all of them, I think that people are going to like this one the most because they're not going to really predict what's going to happen, because you can look up things about these monsters like on a wiki or something, and you might be able to figure out where the story might go. But in this case, it'll be in the same universe, but I'm just going to bring something up that's completely original, and it'll be a nice little curveball if you like read all the ones before it, and it be monsters that you've probably heard of before.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. I like that. So I know, Jeremy, you kind of been saying how busy you've been, but what is the state of Sporkman right now? I mean Sporkman, Movie Minute. That's we're waiting on those proofs and all.
We're waiting for the proofs. We got to figure out the shirts. I'm gonna talk with Doug over the next couple of days, and we'll figure that out. But the way we did fulfillment, we did sort of bare bones fulfillment for hopefully this month, and then when it's more stuff, it would take a month or two. So I'm not as worried about that. And there weren't that many shirts ordered. And then Doug's got to do some original art for people. You guys are sending most of the stuff out. So we're I don't know. I mean, I think this is all kind of I don't anticipate
holding pattern.
Yeah, I mean, it's a holding pattern, and also I think we got this. I don't think that this is going to be. I think this is going to be pretty drama free, which is awesome. So people can just enjoy the comic book that's either going to be on time or darn close, and then they can hopefully come back and back us for Movie Man meets Sporkman. Something else happened recently. The Doug Garrett. I think you've talked with him before.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we know Doug.
Yeah, he wants to do a 5-in-1 kind of a launch for comics, and how I have tons of comics that I'm commissioning people. I had one that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, but it would actually fit rather well with his sort of thing.
It's a pretty interesting idea. Pretty ambitious. I like it.
Yeah, so I think I might end up launching Murder through a sort of 5-in-1 campaign.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, and
that would be really cool to see.
And the artist is almost done with that. So I don't know. I mean, that could be fun. And I need to get off the stick and write the rest of Movie Men Meet Sporkman and get Doug. We'll first get Chuck and Eric to sign off to make sure that I have I'm not engaging in unsportsmanlike conduct with their creation.
Nice.
I wonder if they'll let me get away with like my spork senses tingling or something.
I wouldn't doubt it because they have a Star Wars reference in the first
Yeah.
Sporkman, so I'm pretty sure they'd let you get away with that one.
Yeah, I think I want to get that in there. That was what I came up with this week.
That's funny.
But I mean, I have the overall story in my head, but as you know, it having done it, you can have this big idea in your head, but then when you actually have to plot it page to page, it's more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. It's the transitioning from your imagination to the reality of it. It's difficult. Yeah.
And when you start, paginating, putting page numbers on it, you realize just how little space you have to do what you set out to do here.
Oh, that's so interesting about a comic too. Is it does there are constraints. I think those that can help actually because like you have to force yourself to be more concise and to get the point across faster. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's also I don't think there's a single artist that I work with that I don't love their artwork. That doesn't mean everything is amazing, but for the most part, I love what they're turning into me. When they do, I always want to have fewer words to get in the way,
Right? Oh, I know that feeling so much. Yeah. You're like, I gotta cut words here. I can't have this coming out. Oh yeah, that's funny too. Yeah, that's a really good point. And that's why a lot of times I'll for when I get my pages back, I'll often go back through and look at the pages and look at my script and say, okay, how many words can I kind of still get my point across here? As few words as possible. Exactly.
And I'm still also getting the knack for writing dialogue. It's not. It's getting easier, but it's never something I was good at, and comics made it actually possible for me because they can see these as separate people, so it's not just stuff in my head anymore. Even though it kind of is.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them that distinct voice.
Yeah, I mean the first time I realized that these people have distinct voices was when I was writing Beerman and he swears, and it's not that I don't swear, but I don't swear the way he swore. And so I just realized, wait, this character in a way is talking to me. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, that's that. I think it's that little bit of role playing too comes into it. You're kind of imagining. You can connect with these other characters that you create.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
So,
but that's good, man. I'm glad to hear all the updates, and like on our end, we're like you said, we're doing good on our end. We're just waiting for those proofs to come in.
Yeah.
Once those look good, once they come in here, I'll overnight them to you. I'll give you a copy, and I'll send one to Matt as well.
Okay.
That way, all three of us can then meet and go over our copies and say what we like, if there's any issues that we think need to be addressed.
Yeah.
And then get those final copies printed.
As long as the resolution is good, and I don't spot a 11th hour typo or something, I foresee us being able to just roll right in.
Yeah, it was a good. We had to work. I was working with Doug on getting all those files ready and stuff, and I think we were able to get it all worked out perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an education for lots of people.
Oh yeah.
You said you're going to come up with a pre-press guide. Is that?
Yeah, I'd like to work on that this week. I think start working on that.
I think that'd be very useful.
Yeah, I think it's something that the creators can hand out to their artists as well. That way, artists will know everything from how big to make the art, where it'll be trimmed, all the safe areas, bleed areas, anything from what file types we need to anything, any little detail that can't be overlooked, it'll be in there so that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, I kind of think of pre-press. It's like that. Do you remember that game that's called Operation? You take the tweezers and you go down and you try to get whatever the something out of the guy's body,
funny bone or whatever.
Yeah, all that stuff. But then if you touch the side, I kind of think I after we spent several days on the pre-press stuff, I kind of started to think of it like Operation.
It started to feel that way, didn't it? We kept going in. Okay, here we go. Oh, damn it! I hit touch the side.
Yeah.
Ah, man, I gotta try again. I'm gonna go for this one over here. Ah, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like you said, it's trial and error. But yeah, hopefully getting that file out to everyone will streamline it and cut down on all that hassle for everyone going forward.
Yeah, I can see why most publishers of any reasonable size, in a couple of years in, right, they just hire a pre-press person.
Yeah, that's pretty
their
smart.
job. Yeah,
Because I mean, geez.
there's just so much stuff you got to do to get ready.
Yeah, for real. And I think that the printer we use he really it helps him out when everything is ready to go too, so he doesn't have to then become a pre-press person as well, working on it, because that takes out time from his schedules,
Yeah,
and that's tough on him. So
I saw even that Peter Samedi is finally hiring somebody to do pre-press work.
oh, good.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah,
yeah.
that man is so busy.
Oh, yeah. No, but he's finally got where he's hired. He's hiring someone to sell ads. He's hiring someone to do pre-press, and I think he's going to hire someone to do some shipping. So he might finally be able to get 5 hours of sleep a night.
Maybe he'll get a vacation even if one of these days if he's lucky.
Yeah, who knows?
He's one of the hardest working dudes in comic, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
His biggest inspiration for most of us.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. That's for sure. And I wonder if I've previewed I think we've previewed the sketch cards on the podcast before, but we got those in. Actually, I have them right now. I need to get that cover together. We got in those sketch cards. You got yours too, right, Jeremy?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So we got some sketch cards done by Peter when he was putting those out, and there's some of the Wikid characters, and we've got them now. They look beautiful, and we're gonna stitch them together to make a kind of a collage-like cover for one of the upcoming issues of the magazine.
Cool.
So yeah, really excited. We talked with Peter, and he was okay with us using it for the magazine, and had no issues there. So it's good to have his blessing on that front.
Yeah.
Speaking of magazine, you got my links, did you?
Oh yeah. In fact, Matt and I will be meeting tonight, and we're gonna be going over all the articles, all the every submission piece that we've gotten so far, to just put it all together. Really, we're gonna be putting it together tonight in the next couple of days, and then getting it out to the printer hopefully sometime in the next couple weeks.
All right.
Very cool.
And I just wanted to bring this up. I have a bit of a proposal as to something else that we can put in the next issue, just to keep things new and fresh and interesting. If you would like to hear it.
Sure. Yeah. What's that?
What if we were to take maybe like 3 independent or just online artists that we think could use some attention, and that'd be a good way to pull in more attention into Wikid if we like do interviews with them, like talking about their artwork and then what's got them to art, what they want to do going down the road. That could bring in more traffic for us by expanding out to them, give them advertisement, and give Wikid advertisement as well.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good idea to me. Yeah. I think a lot of people would be interested to hear what different artists had to say about that, about what they do.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, that's I'm down there.
Not at the set in stone, but just it was something I've been thinking a lot about. Because
that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the magazine is it's coming along. We've got a lot of different stuff in it, and just need to finalize a few more things. We are lucky enough to have the artist Jeremy works with Doug. He's was one of the contest winners for the Make Mine Wikid contest, and he is going to be having a comic in the upcoming first issue of the magazine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So we're gonna have some comic material, some short story stuff. I believe we'll have a Mythoverse short story to show off.
Cool.
And then of course all the interviews and articles that you guys have been putting together. It's been it's been a long road. Oh yeah, it's been tough, or not tough, but it's been a lot. It's a lot to put together, but it's been really rewarding to see it all come together. I think it's gonna be so exciting.
How many pages is it gonna be?
Oh, that I really couldn't say offhand. I'll have a better estimate later tonight once I sit down with Matt and we get into really putting it all together.
Cool.
But it'll be pretty lengthy, I think.
Are you gonna try? I mean, what's your favorite comic book magazine of all time?
Ooh. Well, the one I grew up with was Shonen Jump.
Okay.
I read a lot of Shonen Jump growing up.
All right.
Yeah, honestly, I would have to say like that. Yeah, that'd be the biggest influence on my life.
For a lot of people, it's Wizard.
Yeah, see, I missed Wizard. I didn't get a chance to read Wizard.
Yeah, I actually was a comic buyer's guide guy, which
Oh,
is
really?
I mean, it was a magazine at the end, but I mean, it was a weekly trade. It was like a trade journal for comic books.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I used to love reading that.
So it's kind of like bringing those like kind of old school magazines back in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like the Wizard. I know a lot. Someone even suggested we do what was it? Wicked Warlock.
Yeah.
It was a suggestion, and we really seriously ran that around for a while.
Mhm.
But ended up just going and sticking with just straight Wicked magazine. Just keep it plain and simple,
Yeah. I mean, it makes
But
sense.
hey-
Wicked is a really good name.
Ooh, I can tease. Oh, this is a perfect opportunity, guys.
All right,
Do you guys want me to show you the finished cover for the magazine for the first issue?
hit me with it.
All right, let me see
Cool.
if we can pull it up here. He's a amazing artist by the name of Ian R. I believe he goes by. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I will screen share it in just a second.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm so happy. The artist who did the line work is Ori,
Mm.
and then the colorist is Ian.
Cool.
See if you can spot your character.
Yep, I see one test right there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that looks amazing.
I like it.
Right, I think it came out just spectacular. Do you see your? I assume you see your character, Tank.
Yeah, I can spot Lucia there.
Nice. What do you think, man? Pretty cool, right?
Impressive, very impressive.
Uh,
No, it's just the combination of artists is always something that intrigues me when you get a group, just one or two or three artists, one that does the line work, one that does the inking and the coloring. And in this case, it's always amazing how the varying talents just come together for something amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's so true. Yeah.
It's kind of like when you go to the symphony, and you have different kinds of people playing different kinds of instruments, but then it all comes together to create this amazing thing.
Yeah, the sum of the parts, the great, the sum of the parts are fuck, I forgot. Sorry.
What you're trying to say is that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yes.
So
yes.
something I'm actually going to talk to the artist about, and maybe we can because I'm still in contact with the artist, so I might be able to tweak it a little bit. But actually, I don't know if you noticed, Tank, but I believe the eye color maybe got switched with one of the other characters. Did you notice that?
Our color appeared a little bit more yellowish instead of.
I believe the girl next to her has the crimson glowing eyes.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask the artist maybe if he wouldn't mind switching up the two eye colors, because I know that was something that we noted was important for your character. So we'll see if we can get that changed up.
No problem.
Yeah, no, but other than that, I think it turned out amazing.
Yeah,
So,
everything else looks great.
right? Yeah, I think that little tweak would be perfect. And then other than that, yeah, and then we got our character, me and Matt's character in there. We got our Roman guys, Jack Irons, Decimators, you name it, Spark Man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What do you think of and the fact that the character that I was actually talking about was your character, Jeremy.
Tess?
So yeah, Tess's character. I'll probably, if it's cool with you, I'll probably have it switch the eye color.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't paying that much attention to eye color, but it was an overall good rendering.
Right. No, I think it's just a small detail because I did note it, but I think maybe the name, the character in the note got like detached from the character it was supposed to go to.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
probably an
it's,
easy fix, I would think.
The thing is, for my characters, the eye colors pretty much is a defining characteristic of what they look like.
Right. Yeah.
It's something that
totally.
even gets mentioned throughout the story once it eventually gets to people to read.
It'll get there, man. They'll get there.
No, well, it's just
It's gonna take some time. That's all.
no, a little bit more than I planned, but I want it to succeed. I want to give it every single chance I can to succeed. That's why.
No, I think that's smart. Yeah. You gotta treat it the right way.
And we'll do
Can't
everything.
just rush it.
Yeah, we'll do everything we can to speed the plow of its success.
We'll definitely definitely help out where we can. But I think Tess came out great on there, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she's got a sweet ass tattoo on her shoulder there. It was really cool. And I'm really happy with it. I hope everyone likes it. And we'll be seeing that grace the cover of the first issue.
Cool.
And then we'll soon be able to preview some more of the covers that we have coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone just keep an eye out for that first issue coming out later this month.
And the frequency is still going to be what?
Oh, we're going to shoot for every 3 months, so the second issue should be coming out in late October, just in time for Halloween.
Okay, cool.
So we might have a fun Halloween themed second issue.
Oh boy!
Salem's like, step into my parlor.
Right? If you got some short stories and you want to throw our way, man, we'd be all for it.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah. Well, we're getting close to the end of the hour here. What do you guys got going on in the next couple of weeks?
I'm hoping to get at least 10 hours of sleep in the next 2 weeks.
10 hours in 2 weeks. I certainly hope so.
I mean, kind of up to her. Yeah.
Here, let me. You want to show us real quick?
Yeah. Okay. Here you go.
Show the little baby.
There she is.
Aww.
Yeah.
So cute, sleeping away.
Yeah. Sleeping during the day so she can torment us at night.
That's just wrong, isn't it?
I know.
You're like, why can't you just do this when I'm sleeping?
Yeah.
Why can't you just be normal?
I'll work on the Sporkman stuff. I have time off from work for a while here, and so I want to work on comic books and the kiddo. So
nice.
that's what I'm going to be doing. If you guys want to follow me, I'm on Twitter. I'm at Jeremy Lott Diary, and I whenever I've got some sort of new project, I'll post it up there. You'll get the updates that you need to get. So,
oops. So there's a link if you guys want to follow that. And,
another reason to follow it is that I do a lot of just relinking just cool comic book stuff. So there's an awful lot of fun stuff you can get if you follow me.
Okay, nice. No, that's great, man. And definitely be on the lookout for Sporkman and the team up with Sporkman and Movie Men coming together.
That's right.
That's gonna be really.
You have the reality bomb meets the power of the spork.
What can possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
But that's great, man. And yeah, everyone, please.
Obviously,
follow
I don't
him.
know. Obviously, don't know too much about Sporkman since he's not out yet, but he does seem like a guy who gets into trouble quite a bit.
Yep.
Oh yeah. You might say trouble follows him. I'm not sure if he's the kind of guy who looks for trouble, but it certainly follows him around. That's for sure.
Yep.
But
he might be a comic book creator deep down, then, huh?
That's his true identity.
Oh, Salem, your thing about the dude cracked me up so hard.
Oh. Do you hate Nazis, Mr. Lebowski? I was talking about my comics. I hate them too. Nasty things.
I remember that exchange. but it's actually quite apt and perfectly encapsulates the whole thing.
It really does, doesn't it?
That mug really held the room together.
Oh man, leave it to the dude. Dropping some wisdom.
That's right.
And where can we follow you, Salem? And what have you got going on?
You can follow me on Twitter at Salem_LeBlanc. And what else? You can follow me on Instagram at Salem Xavier LeBlanc, all one word. And I try to give out, specific days, so it's like, you could know when to look for my stuff, but just real life comes up and bites you in the rear end, and then all of a sudden all your plans go out the window. So my stuff will be ready when it's ready.
No, I'm sure that's a feeling we can all understand. These projects take time, and sometimes things get in the way, and it's hard to get them out. But it's the fact is, that you're still putting it out there and still working towards it. So that's the part that matters most.
I will say though, the one thing I do know for sure is I'm trying to garner up as many artists as I can and as many different artists as I can to draw pictures of my my protagonist of that big project that I want to work on. And I'm trying to stick with artists that I have had some sort of contact with, just so that there's no like second guessing or anything. So if you guys know anybody who isn't within the Wikid circles that would like to take a crack at having me commission them or whatever, let me know.
Sure, yeah, we'll definitely keep some artists in mind, and even Wicked artists. I'm sure there's some who might be interested in doing some side work as well. In between their main projects.
Yeah, and I've already got I feel so bad I forgot his name, but the guy who Matt, the guy who wrote who drew the Wicked creature.
Yeah,
he's already signed.
Matt B. Yeah.
Yep. We've already got him working on
nice man
on a few of them. So
very cool. Yeah, no, that's exciting to see. I know Matt's always he's loves to get involved with the different guys' projects. He did the Rage Puppy for the initial Rage Puppy for the Wrath campaign for Scott. So yeah, that'll be cool to see what his rendition of your stuff looks at. Turns out to look like. That'll be fun. Well, cool, man. Definitely, everyone, please check it. Like I said, please check his stuff out, and we'll be seeing some more stuff. I assume some more teasers and tidbits from your Monster Universe coming up in the next months or so.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking I'll go ahead and I'm gonna also tease stuff for my big project because after watching the Mythoverse, I've learned that even though things might not be ready to present, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with trying to create excitement for a potential project in the future.
Exactly, get people hyped early and they'll remember you.
Yep, and that's exactly why I'm trying to get these artists together to because I've got characters I think could be visually interesting and gain attention, so I might as well bank off that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty smart. Yeah. And Tank, where do you got going on this upcoming weekend or so, and where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at HeavyTankZA. What I've currently got going on is the artist that has done the character shots for me. I have him working on updated character sheets, and then after that, I'm going to be planning on getting some busts done of some of the other characters in the story. Not full-on character shots or reference sheets, just busts of important characters that pop up in the story a lot, like the Hannibal, the ship on which the characters travel, the captain Hannibal, right? Word mouth fail. Captain Enrico Reyes and the chief engineer Henry Rollins, and just important characters who pop up quite a bit, just so people can have an understanding what they look like. And then one of the things that I'll probably look at doing is, if these look good enough, I'll probably look at using them as stickers as part of a stretch goal in the campaign. I don't know.
Nice.
These are all things that I'm looking at. And then obviously there are two more characters that will get full drawings done. Obviously, one of the main antagonists / spoiler characters, Arsenia. She will also be getting a full character sheet done. Well, not a full reference sheet, but at least a full drawing done. And also her armor will be designed. Her sword's already been done, the rapier Moonfang. And currently Killbox is working on her firearm, the Draco hand cannon.
Nice, man. Dude, yeah, I love all your characters and just all the world building you've done. It's really populated your story with a lot of interesting people and a lot of interesting ideas. And so it's really exciting.
That's
I think
the idea. And apart from that, what I'm working on is, when time and life allows, I have started, believe it or not, I have actually started on volume 2. And it's going to be interesting. Majority of the law entries for that's been done already, and everything else based around. It's going to be less system hopping this time. It's going to be localized in a single system rather than
wow.
going all over the.
Hello.
I
Sorry there.
believe it's going to be a very.
Sorry, do you
Back
mind
up again.
replaying just the last? Yeah, you would you repeat the last part about just after the part about not it being localized in one system?
Yeah, it's going to be localized in a single system rather than all over the place. The Saphira Expanse, basically, as a teaser, just as a teaser, what's happening is it used to be a vassal of the New Bretonian Empire. They used to export a lot of food stuff to the rest of the galaxy, but this has stopped.
And
So-
and after it stops, does that mean that there's just they're not bringing the food anymore?
Well,
good, very
No,
good, sir.
that was the good teaser.
Right, I was just thinking that was perfect. Well, that's cool, man. I'm really excited to hear all about you getting some art done, and I always love to see the new pieces you come back with, whether it be weapons or characters or whatnot. So it's always exciting to see that.
yeah.
And yeah, thanks
Well,
for joining us, man. I really appreciate it. You taking the time.
No problem. And I'm thankful to have found talented artists to work with.
Oh yeah, no, that is amazing. You can't ask for anything more than just a talented group of good people to work with.
Yeah, and the best part of working with Killbox is the whole fact that we throw ideas around. So I give him the writing, then he looks at it and he throws me a different idea, and I think about it, and then from there on we go and we start switching things around. And it's actually happened quite a few times where some of the armor designs have actually been swapped around and changed up based on suggestions he's given me.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Kind of giving you that feedback and input, making that collaborative effort. I always feel like when your artist is able to add stuff to it, it just makes the things so much more. I don't know, come to life, I guess you might say. Just
it's the process is a lot more organic that way. And
that's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I try to tell writers this. I tell them, artists know things that you don't, and you can either benefit from that or not. You'd be better off to benefit from it.
I mean, it's when you look at art and writing, especially, it's like sometimes you realize that you kind of need both in order for it to completely work. Because even with writing, it's like you got to be able to visualize reality in order to even turn it into words.
Yep.
So it's like visuals are always going to be needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about wraps it up for this episode of the Wikid Weekend Podcast. I appreciate everyone who joined in on the chat and hung out with us, and thanks to all the creators who came by and talked comics with us as well. We'll be. I just want to plug real quick. We're gonna be at Powerhouse Comic-Con in Alameda at the end of the month. So if you're in the area, come check us out. We'll have a booth with a bunch of comics, and who knows, maybe even a little movie man.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome, huh?
Yes.
Well, so yeah, please come support us, and thanks again for joining in the chat, and we'll see you guys next time on the Wikid Weekend Podcast.
See ya.
Later.